Welcome back, everyone, for another session of Crituitous RP. Thanks for joining us this week. Before we start, a couple quick announcements. We would like to thank our new followers from this past week. We have Proficiency Bonus, Black Steve 420, Metabit 421, Arkinvar, and Naj Karg. Thank you very much for you lot for following us. Share us with your friends. Let us know, let other people know all about the wonderful stream that we absolutely are, right? We are, right? Yep.
Absolutely.
Good. Yep. Quick thing that we need to warn and make sure people understand is next week, which is, for me, the 11th of August, because the time zones might be a little bit, it should be the 11th of August for all of you too. We will not have a session next week. Enough of us are out on vacation or away from town, unable to get into the stream, so we won't be able to run a stream then. But we will be back the following week on the 18th for another session. You can follow us again for more details, as always, on our Twitter at Crituitous RP, our Tumblr, crituitousrp.tumblr.com. I get confused because it's twitter.com/crituitousrp and then crituitousrp.tumblr.com. Also, follow us, support us, join us on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Tearvent. Right. Well, previously on our adventures in this intrepid jungle ruined city of Omu, our heroes had been exploring the city and they had encountered a number of alternative groups. One was a group of other adventurers who had seemed to be here also looking for the cubes. They even had one of the cubes on them. Zola managed to stealthily grab one of those cubes, the cube off of them. We then saw a nice little grouping of kobolds who happened to have a lot of precious wood and belongings that Averine really wants. They seem to be the maintenance crew of these shrines, and we heard them complaining about the fact that they can't act maintenance if there's no cube to protect. We collected one more cube. That was the Iblis cube. And now we find ourselves entering into a shrine to Uptau. But unfortunately, Grigori finds himself incapable of moving through.
Some could argue that Grigori is blessed to be saved from those dangers, as though perhaps someone is looking out for him. But you may all go along into your shrine.
See you, Grigori. Bye.
So you all just leave Grigori at the door?
Well, just to clarify, is Ufbart coming with us?
As I said a moment ago, I think I might be safer with you. So I'll be coming into the shrine.
So I look very intently as Ufbert walks into the shrine to see if he's able to walk into the shrine. Because I have my suspicions as to why Grigori isn't allowed, but I have other suspicions that make me wonder if Ufbert is able to.
Ufbert is incapable of walking through the shrine door. And he tries and can't get in. But also, it's worth noting, neither can Alawando. Okay? So the only people that seem to be capable of crossing the threshold into the shrine is Pijo, Tower, Carmen, Zola, and Averine.
Tower would like to cast Detect Magic. So.
Your senses go nuts as the air seems electrified with magic.
Fantastic. Everywhere. Right. Have we got like a bubble thing around this this thing? Can I tell what type of magic that is?
So, this. Let me. 1 second. Schools of magic on magical items is always. I should remember that someone's going to use detect magic and try to find out what the be.
I also am quite curious to see if there's detect magic on Uthbert, to see if he's got some sort of illusion on him.
There is no magic on Uthbert. He's as simple as it comes.
Right.
However, you do notice evocation magic on the door frame.
Sorry, I'm trying to just go past our house. And hear it.
It was music magic. Evocation magic on the door frame.
Evocation?
Yep, evocation.
Remind me what evocation is again?
Evocation has a lot of spells like Fireball.
Fireball, yeah.
And other similar sorts of
That's pretty much it.
spells.
Yeah. Evocation is Fireball.
That's a strange one to have on that.
Evocation magic. Some quick examples that you would know of. Eldritch Blast, Firebolt, Frostbite, Light, Sacred Flame, Shock and Grasp, Word of Radiance. A lot of these. Cure Wounds is evocation.
I like to think of it as the production of energy out of thin air.
Yep. That's about right. Actually.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. It's still a strange one for necessarily a barrier. But there is a lot of magic presence around this building, of evocation magic.
You mentioned evocation. Carmen, roll an Arcana check.
Oh. Hang on. Sorry. Oh.
Next one. Oh.
What was your result?
19.
19.
Along with a bunch of other evocation magic you regularly cast, there is one spell that you cast almost pretty much on a daily basis that is an evocation spell, and that is Tiny Hut.
Okay.
So similarly to how Tiny Hut creates a barrier that certain people cannot cross through, you can feel confident that that's what's happening here.
Okay.
Is permitting some people through and some people not, similar to how Tiny Hut works.
Right. Okay. Can I would literally just tell the group that are we still standing at the entrance? Are we still with Grigori and Uthbert and Alawando?
I believe so.
Okay, so guys, it's just like Tiny Hut from what I can work out. So I'm not sure. There must be something different that's clearly noticeable that this barrier is picking up.
There are conditions.
If people can't walk through it, that is, unless they want to stay outside, of course, and who knows.
No. I would like to come with you. Please get me through. Please.
So if we were able to get Grigori in with us, then would you prefer to stay out like you do with all the other shrines?
Before you can answer, Grigori gives him like a wicked grin.
Yes.
Okay.
You're a wise man, Uthbert.
Mm-hmm.
So I am curious about this temple or shrine to Ubtao in this city that seems devoted to the 9 gods. But I'm also concerned about splitting up the party.
I can go look and see if I can find the center of the hut, the giant hut, and see if I can figure out what's doing it and come back.
Oh, you shouldn't be so concerned. Alawando can stay with me. You'll know immediately if there's a problem. I'll guard the door. You'll be fine.
Is Is the structure like a grand Sistine Chapel type thing, or is it more like the small shrines we've visited?
Looks like the small shrines. In fact, from your viewpoint, there are statues of Ubtao on the outside of the doorway. Everything else is just plain rock on the outside. You pass through, and it's just a square room about 20 foot by 20 foot with a single staircase that just goes down.
If I step into the temple, can I still have my telepathic link to Aloando?
Yep.
We should proceed. I would not have one of us going. Gregory is fine.
Oofbert, I have my eyes on you through Aloando. Don't worry.
Ooh.
If anything happens, we'll return post haste.
Okay.
Just don't bleed out before we get there.
You guys are going to hide while you're out here, right? You're not just going to stand there?
I intend to hide.
Unless I have to use him for bait.
What? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Hey, that's a 17 on a stealth check to hide around the corner.
Zola, would you like to be invisible?
No. With these structures, that's only really useful against people.
Then be safe, and Grigori turns invisible.
You never asked the rest of us.
Okay. So, the rest of you head into the shrine proper?
Yeah.
Okay. As you walk down the stairs, what's your marching order? Who's first out of the group?
I offer to be first.
Okay. Who's second?
Good job.
Good job. Third?
Is it dark?
It is dark, so you rely on light or dark vision to be able to see right now.
Okay.
That
I
was
was going to put
Tower.
light on my shield. And
Okay.
That'll project further than my candle would. But for my own personal use, if I walk out of the stray, I'm going to have the candle.
so I'll be third in the middle.
Okay. Tower or Carmen next?
I'll be full.
I'll take the rear.
Okay.
Rear guard.
And I'm checking for traps everywhere.
Yep.
Always.
Perception check. What's your passive?
19.
19.
passive.
Okay. So roll a perception check.
Let's go with the 19.
Go with the 19. All right. As you begin stepping down these steps, you're looking everywhere. You're looking for absolutely every trap. However, there was one that was really, really well hidden. And as your footsteps onto the point, every step suddenly starts dropping into what looks like a slide. What do you do, Zola?
I'll get out my grappling hook and rope as I slide, and I will enjoy the ride, but be ready to catch myself somewhere if it looks like I'm about to fall into a pit.
Okay.
Are
So
we-
you just start shooting down, picking up speed. Everyone behind the floor is turning into a smooth slide underneath each of you.
Whee!
So,
I presume Pigeon could just fly.
yeah, Pijo could just fly.
Okay.
What would Averine do?
It's like, oh shit. I mean, if I can reflectively grab something on the side, I will try to do that.
So you're going to try to kind of brace yourself against the wall to slow yourself down?
If that's an option.
That is an option. Roll an athletics check and see how strong your grip is.
I will use luck.
Okay.
All right, so 8 it is.
8. Okay. You slide through, your hands start getting rubbed against the stone. Eventually it gets too much and you'll have to just keep barreling after Zola. Pijo flying up. Would Pijo try to help and stop anyone?
Could Pedro attempt to grab her?
He would try to, but I don't think he's strong enough to actually arrest anybody's fall or slide.
Have Pijo roll an athletics check.
All right, can Pedro go for a grab and then attempt to fly in a fashion? If he can't stop her, slow the momentum.
Put out his wings as a windbreak kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Have him roll an athletics check. Let's see if he can grab her quick enough.
Not very good on athletics. We'll see how that works out. Yeah.
There we go. All right. So Pijo instinctively turns up, lifts off the ground, and as Averine starts sliding underneath him, he just grabs hold of her, wings spread out, and he slows Averine down. Behind Averine, Carmen. What do you do when the ground begins to slide?
Carmen's gonna. Oh no! She's gonna see Averine stopping and trying to stop. So I'm also gonna just throw out all of my limbs, like legs, everything, just to try and just like make a massive I don't know, just grab anything I can.
Athletics.
Oh no!
That's
I've got
shit.
a -2 on athletics, by the way.
Yeah. And he's barreling down. Tower, you behind her. If you can support yourself and stop yourself from going down at quick pace, you have a chance to stop Carmen from going down quick pace, who will then crash into other people. So.
As I've just done, I'm turning into a giant spider. I'm going to I'm going to jump up in the air, stick 6 limbs out to either side of the walls. That's the thing. And then my last 2 limbs are going to go forward and grab the back of her and try and stick her to stop the slide.
You're not going to web me.
I could try, and I'm also going to shoot a web further down the thing. All that.
All right. You're going to have the time to be able to do one of the two. Either grab Carmen or shoot a web in front of them. With the whole shifting into the wild shape and then acting, which one are you going to do?
Well, so I've got a web which is a ranged attack, but can I use it just to web up the area?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's basically going to stop everybody from going down. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So I'm going to shoot it ahead and stop everybody from thinking.
What's the range of your web?
30 to 60 feet.
30 to 60 feet. Okay. So still go ahead and shoot it. There's a chance you won't catch Zola, as she just took the slide.
Okay.
There you go. Zola, as you begin to slide, you're immediately caught by a web.
You two could just bundle up into each other.
Everyone just slowly starts crashing into the web as the giant spider approaches. A few moments later, a minute or two, the steps turn back into actual steps, and you guys can resume your motion down towards the floor.
I just want to say, in my defense, that was a very well hidden trap.
That was a very well hidden trap. All right. You guys continue to make your way down, and you're using the light of Averine's shield. It seems to start to sparkle. The corridor shifts. It doesn't look like a stone staircase that you're following. There are small crystalline light structures, almost like little flames, but made out of pure crystal, that seem to glow different colors: blue, red, green, yellow, all of these beautiful arrays. As you begin to go down, a couple things start to change. Zola, I need you to roll a D5 in Roll20, please. Five. Zola, you turn into Tower.
What, the spider version of Tower?
No. original version of tower.
Do I hit my head on anything?
You do feel a lot bigger, or at least rather what should really happen is Pijo notices that you suddenly start looking like tower. Pijo, who's controlling Pijo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Pijo needs to roll a d4. A 2, which shifts him to look like Averine. Okay, so now Pijo looks like Averine in front of Averine, who in front of Pijo Averine is Zola Tower. Averine, roll a d3 now.
Oh, I'm gonna turn so bad.
1. Averine, you turn into Zola. Carmen, a d2. Yeah, you could either become Pijo or.
Face
No,
myself.
I think that's it. Yeah, it's just you become Pijo. Right.
Say it's me.
Don't cross the streams.
I forget.
So
Sorry, 1 second. All right.
No,
Zola
yeah.
becomes Tower.
Oh,
Averine, Pijo becomes Averine. Averine became Zola, which means Carmen could become Pijo, or well, yeah,
You get
that's
to be first.
forced to be herself. So Carmen becomes Pijo, and Tower becomes Carmen. There. That's how it
Tower
works.
still. Is Tower still a spider, or is he?
Nope.
No.
He gets
Tower.
wild shaped into Carmen.
Okay.
Ah, ah.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So with that change in situation, as the last of you changes, the corridor also then opens up into a wide circular room in front of you. It's about a 30-foot diameter space with a single statue in the middle, a statue of Uptal, the kind of statues you guys have seen previously. You guys are now in the forms of each other. What are you going to do?
Flex.
Nice.
I've got wings. I've got wings. Pijo, I've got wings. Who's Pijo? Pijo, who's Pijo?
Pijo's average. Oh, well, you'd have to do that.
Oh, Rini. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Now, is the sound coming out of their voice? Like, is Pijo talking with a high-pitched Scottish accent, or does it still sound like Pijo?
I'm trying to think which would be more comical. I think it would be better if everyone actually sounds like the new body.
Okay.
Okay. So when Pijo Averine speaks, it sounds like it's got the Scottish accent of Averine.
And
Where-
go time.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't believe I meant to do that. Oh, I'm sorry.
This is not bad.
Oh,
You're not Aaron, you're Carmen, you plonker.
no. I'm Pijo.
Because Ty's playing both Pijo and Tower, who have both switched into Averine and Carmen.
Okay.
Okay. Does that mean I can shoot shatter now?
Would you try?
I'm gonna try my flame hand.
You got prestidigitation now.
I'm gonna try and ignite my flame. Right, Tower's gonna try and use his magic to ignite his flame. Can he do that?
You cast it, and Zola Tower's hand suddenly erupts in flame.
Ah,
I am sorry. I did not mean to do that.
it is
I have to
okay.
talk in a weird voice, but still do the inflections of Tower. It's quite weird.
So this means that we can still do what we do, but with other bodies.
Oh, let's try that out. And I do precipitation with like just a puff of pink smoke just to go over me, P-Joel. No, yes, I am P-Joel. But to see if it pops up on my body.
Tower.
Exactly right. The little puff of smoke appears around Tower Carmen.
This is very confusing.
What about physical things? Who is me?
That's a deep question.
Who is Zola? Zola, who are you really?
Zola, I, Averine, am you.
Okay. Can you well, do they actually... We're not wearing our gear, are we? Averine has my weapons.
Averine has everything of yours.
Can I have my sword and my dagger back?
Yes?
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to do my little brandishy fancy footwork business. See if it works.
So here's the mechanical side, and maybe you can help me figure this one out. So my intention for this little trap here was, imagine you're in combat. You get to control the position of the other person while they still control their body. So trying to perform tricks and skills, you have no capability of doing so. But
So I trip all over myself?
yeah, you trip all over yourself.
Oh no.
Trying to do what Zola could do with your body. Okay?
I hope we do not have to fight down here.
I think about unsheathing Tower's greatsword and making a slash move with it. If Zola will kind of react to it.
You will. Zola will draw greatsword instead. Okay?
We still have some control over ourselves in a weird fashion. This is my thinking. No, this is my thinking.
Hold on, guys. I can fix this. Because it can't work for everything. So, watch this, and I'm going to try and fly.
It's starting to hurt my head. I had imagined. No. All right, you...
Because that's movement.
Yeah, and with movement, you are able to move as if you were you. So, no, you move the body so you can fly.
Yay!
All right, have you ever seen Sense 8?
No.
Okay.
Should.
Would help with this situation.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna give
Awesome.
Zola Averine back the weapons.
Maybe we should proceed and get this over and done with. I don't feel entirely comfortable in clothes that are this tight.
But you look great.
So do you.
So, should I take the lead?
I guess.
What's in front of us now?
It is just the statue of now. That is all that appears to be in front of you. As you all kind of stand in front of this statue, a voice will call out from it. A soft voice speaking out. I need to be sure. Are you prepared for the dangers ahead of you? You need to work together. And as such, I need you to be a team. You will be tested. You will be tried. I hope to find you Successful. As you do so, spectral forms will begin to appear. And here's how this challenge of combat is going to work. Everyone on their turn has action, bonus action, and so on. So movement, action, bonus action if they have it. When you move the other person's body. When you act with your original one. From the position of where that body happens to be. I know it's a bit of a confusing thing.
I move PJ, but if I attack Calm's body.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Is it now lit up the room just in case we lose light? Calm can see in dark. So would therefore tower as Calm and see in dark if he needs to. She needs to. I need to.
Yes.
Everyone can see because it lights up. All
Just
right.
check.
I'm not going to be that ridiculous. All right. So, bear with me while we look at the map. It's a bit of a weird one. As it begins to grow and expand, this room changes into a corridor for you. That's not right. There we go. All right. So can you all see yourselves and your alternatives?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone still need to have visual representation of who their alternative is? Or does everyone get it?
No.
Fine.
Fine.
I think I might need it. So what I'm actually doing is I'm going to duplicate each of you. So as this space expands and these spectral forms appear, you all get an opportunity to move and prepare your alternatives, which, remember, Zola is in Tower's body, Pijo is in Averine's body, Averine is in Zola's body, Carmen is in Pijo's body, and Tower is in Carmen's body.
So if I move, I actually move Averine.
Zola, you actually move Tower.
But I'm Tower. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I have Tower's token. That's the idea.
Oh yeah, Roll20 is going to mess this up with control over tokens, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got control of Carmen's.
I can move PJ.
Okay. If you face a problem with control over a token, let me know. But it should be Zola. You can control. You control Tower's token.
Worst comes to worst, just highlight the square or the location you want to move to, and get the other player to do it in movement.
As these ghostly forms will appear in front of you. So, I'd like everyone to roll initiative. For simplicity, roll your own initiative. Because the initiative is down to the body and all of that stuff.
Ciao. Ciao. I was back off the feature.
All right, I have Tower, Carmen, Averine, Pijo. Who am I missing? Zola. Zola, you rolled a 14, but you're not in the turn order. Okay, I will add you in myself. All right. Everyone's cool. It's good. We're now going to have Averine's body, which is currently controlled by Pijo. So, Pijo, Averine, what are you going to do? You move with the body, you act with your own.
PJ is going to what does Every normally do? Well, she kind of shoots from a distance. I'll step back a little bit and I'll move.
You need to move that back?
Move back to there. I can't control Everine.
No, I can't try.
So just move it back in space.
Okay. Point is for you to work together. Okay, so Averine moves back, and then Pijo can act with his own body.
That's confusing.
So he could pull out a bow and fire from his current position.
I'm going to, I'm going to shoot then. Shoot. And Joe's going to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Probably.
On which of the ghosts? That one? Okay.
All right, so I need to make his attack.
It's a solid shot. The arrow flies from Pijo's body for 6 points of piercing damage. All right.
Plus Hunter's Mark. Then let's do a second shot.
Okay. 21 for 7 points of piercing damage. And the Hunter's Mark?
And the Colossus Slugger.
I'm guessing this is really weird for Carmen because she's just doing all these movements and doesn't know how. Okay.
Yeah. Anything else from Averine, Pijo? From Pijo Averine, sorry.
Nope.
All right. Next up is Carmen. So Tower Carmen. Tower, you move Carmen, you act with your own body.
All right. Carmen's
You move your body, but you.
very much the same. He's a bit protective of Carmen, so he's going to move her back as well.
Okay.
And then she normally casts something.
No. So Averine is run by Tower's actions. So you moved. Carmen is by Tower. So Carmen moves, Tower acts.
You do your spell.
So Tower actions are from your character sheet.
Oh, this is a bit weird.
No, it's confusing. So you've got 4 characters. That's one.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So you just do a spell.
So Tower acts.
Yeah. The point of this is your movement is to work together, move other people's bodies, and then you act how you would act.
Yeah,
from
I'm
the
confused about the initiative because I'm acting on Carver's initiative, but acting out of my own.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to conjure animals.
Oh,
Okay. What animals do I conjure?
And I'm going to conjure the little raptor things that we had. Not the raptors, but the other things that have got like 3 attacks a turn. Dionygus. Those ones.
Okay. And how many of those are you getting?
I think they're level. Were they level? They're level
These
ones.
are CR1s. Yep.
They're CR1s.
So you get 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 CR1 creatures.
Initiative 19, so they're on this initiative.
Okay. So they will go immediately afterwards.
And their bodies are swapped too. They think they're each other.
Yeah. They think they're each other. No. Got enough to worry about. All right.
Tower himself is going to change into a cave bear.
Okay.
As part of it. Feel the bear.
Yeah, so Zola feels the shift and the change in body. All right. Anything else from Tower?
Nope.
Okay, the Deinonychai.
Deinonychai. I need a character sheet for the Deinonychai.
So select the token, hold down the shift key, and double click on the token.
Sweet. Forgot about that. Thank you very much, DM.
No.
Okay, I'm just going to have the Deinonychus in front of us. Just make his 3 attacks. Those 3 attacks each.
Okay.
19, 5 piercing.
Is going to hit.
2
5
floor
piercing.
attacks. 7 floor attack. 1. Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. Nice. As these attacks come in, the creatures that you summon aren't considered magical and they don't do magical damage. So the creatures are resistant.
Okay.
Okay. That's one creature that did its actions. What's the other one going to do?
Same thing. It's going to attack that one.
Okay. 22 hits.
Okay, cool attack.
Looks like a crit. There we go. Natural 20.
And last one. Oh, missed. Well, I'll take that. That's like 5 out of 6.
Yep. So total of 22, half down to 11 points of damage on the ghostly form. These creatures just jumping up and just tearing through the ghost. All right. Anything else from the Deinonychus?
Good for now.
All right. So now it's Zola's body, which is controlled by Averine. So Averine, you move Zola, you act as if you were yourself.
Question.
Yeah.
A lot of Zola's tactics involve acting in the middle of movement. So how does that work?
Then you guys need to work together on this. So Zola would need to prepare to act while someone else is moving her. Does that make sense?
We still have the cunning action and you can use the cunning action to move. Yes?
Correct. Yep.
So you'd enable me to reserve an action to do a cunning action in addition to an action?
What I'm saying is on your turn, Zola, so you can use your bonus action to cunning action and dash. So you can move yourself, your Zola, as your bonus action. So you can get that extra movement as well. But on top of that, if you were to ready an action, you wouldn't be able to ready an action to also cunning action dash, though.
That's most of my stuff. Oh, you're just gonna smile evilly at me. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's almost like this is a challenge.
Yeah. It's meant to get people thinking out of the box and coordinating. I know it's going to be difficult, but I believe you. I believe you can do it.
And so Avarine's internal monologue is that Zola does well by running up and stabbing folks. So she's going to run up, knowing that she has her allies nearby, and thinking that she feels confident in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will think about protecting my allies, and Averine will cast Bless to get 5 people, so at 3rd level.
So everyone is getting blessed?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully this works.
Including the Deinonychus?
No.
No, only 5 people. All right. Anything else from Averine?
That's it.
Okay, so now Zola acting with Tower. You move Tower's body, and then you can take your action and bonus action as you wish.
Got it.
Okay.
I would like to look over my bare shoulder at Tauman and nod my head.
Okay. No idea what that meant.
I know how it feels. So no response.
Are you going to move with Tower?
I will. Does Talman respond at all, or does she just stare at me?
I'm just gonna stare at you.
Okay, then I will go right into the middle of everything.
Okay.
Right there.
All right. And now you get to act and take your bonus action as you.
Right. Stab. We're gonna do that.
Okay. You stab the ghost. That hits. You get sneak attack on top of it.
Yep.
And that will destroy that ghost.
Nice. And then I do not think I actually need to move anymore. So I will not. Not. The Deinonychuses are way too small to hide behind, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little too small.
All right.
Harrison.
I'll bonus action move away 10 feet back.
Okay. So your bonus action dash. All right. Then we have the ghosts. They are all going to zone in on the bear. So, first ghost is going to they're all just going to withering touch. That's all they're going to do. Make it nice and simple. I have a crit, a 22, another crit, a 9. Oh, wait, no, there's only 4 of them. So we got a crit, a 22, and a crit that hit, I'm assuming.
Except for the 9. Nah, so.
Okay. So 25 points of necrotic plus 21 necrotic. So 46 plus, so 50, 60, 78 points of necrotic damage. Is that right?
78? You don't. So you, what?
Yep. Because 2 of those were crits.
Right. Okay.
So 78.
So Bear's got 46.
So Tower himself reverts back to Tower's form and takes 32 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the ghosts done. Pijo, you move Averine. No, sorry, Pijo's body. So Carmen moves Pijo, and then Carmen gets to act.
Yeah. Okay. So Pijo. Oh God, what do I do? I'm just going to move him over here.
Okay.
And then Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
God. I'm trying to think what's best. Part of me's torn between Healing Tower or I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna do Healing Word if I can reach Tower with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
At level 3.
Okay, so Tower gets back 13 hit points. Yep. And that's your bonus action, Carmen. What would you do for your action? You can't cast a spell unless it's a cantrip.
In that case, I will do Vicious Mockery. And just be like, we're not even in our own bodies, nor are you, but we're still doing better than you. Just give up now, right? Seriously, you look blue and sad and dead. Walk away or float away. Float away.
All right. So the wisdom save. One of them, we'll say the one that's closest to you, fails. Takes 5 points of psychic damage. Nice. Anything else from Pijo Carmen? All right. So next up in this ridiculous trap. So Avarine's body. So Pijo, you can move Avarine, and then Pijo acts. Pijo, who's running Pijo's character?
Oh, that's me. I'm Avarine, aren't I?
Yeah.
Avarine's going to stay where. Well, actually, I might move Avarine to here so she could potentially get a better shot.
Okay. All right. So you move Avarine, and then Pijo acts.
And then Pijo's gonna move his hunter's mark to this one.
Okay.
And then do his shoots. Do his shooting.
Do we shooting?
Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, just because you're blessed. So that's definitely going to hit. 9 points of piercing damage, plus the hunter's mark, and it's wounded.
And it's wounded, plus the style.
Okay. Anything else?
Second attack on that.
That's also going to hit. Another 11.
Plus hunter's mark. 17.
That is a heavily injured ghost.
Okay, cool.
Anything else from that? All right. Carmen's body control Tower's actions. So Carmen's body can move, Tower can act.
Carmen's probably okay where she is, I imagine.
Okay.
Right. So, question for the DM.
Yep.
You inadvertently took down his wild shape. Has he used that and lost it? So I've used both my wild shapes for this turn, or can the magic in the thingy not count?
For the sake of the test, because Ubtao wanted you in your natural form for the start of the test, Ubtao removed your wild shape without expending it. You can have your wild shape back.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Very cool. Very, very, very nice DM.
You gotta love Ubtao. He's a generous god.
He's a generous god. Right, so Tower will change to the cave bear again.
Okay.
Pause over.
Just pop it in and out. Okay, and then make 2 claw attacks on that one.
Okay. Make the 1 claw attack first.
Yeah.
Because it's heavily wounded.
Right, so this is the bite one first. Natural 1. All right, so
That's gonna miss.
okay, second attack.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
This is classed as magical now as well. By the way.
Yep. And that tears through and destroys that ghost. Making
Okay.
quick work of these now.
Roar!
Anything else from Tower's body?
It's all very weird because I'm sitting there going, oh, I've been really, really damaged. And I went, no, I haven't. Solar has.
All right.
Weird.
You're Deinonychus.
Deinonychus. Okay. I'm gonna loop them round to here and here.
Okay.
But I'll focus attack on that one. Where's my Deinonychus? All right, so first attack with that one. 17.
And that'll hit.
Second attack,
Are you going on the left one or the right one?
the one on the right.
One on the right. Okay. So both of these will hit. Go for another one.
Yeah.
Also another hit. So grand total of 22, half down to 11.
Okay, second one, doing the same thing. Same target.
Again, all of these are with advantage, so 23 hits.
Yeah. Natural 20.
That's a crit, so that'll certainly hit. And another one. All right. Another heavily injured and weakened ghost there. Anything else from the Deinonychus?
Good.
Okay. Zola's body. Avarine's actions.
So I'll see that the Deinonychus are doing a pretty good job of these guys. So I'll position Zola in place to do a finisher.
Okay.
And then I'll think about casting, whipping out my wand and casting Firebolt at that guy on the end.
All right.
Oh, wait, not Firebolt. Yes, Firebolt. I will cast Firebolt.
That's definitely going to hit. 14 points of fire damage. As a ghost, he is resistant to fire, though, unfortunately. So, total of 7 points of damage. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Tower's body controlled by Zola's actions.
Bear's not gonna move.
Bear's not going to move. Okay, Bear
Same
stays
spot.
where he is.
And
Zola's
then
actions.
we cut him down.
That's going to cut him down. That's one downed ghost.
Yeah, I can't reach anything else. Okay. And might as well stay there. I'm not too concerned. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Then we are up to the ghosts. Now, there's quite a few creatures around here that they could go for. So, they're going for the one of the Deinonychus. So, 2 Withering Touch attacks, 23 to hit, and a 9 to hit. So I'm assuming that misses.
Yeah.
So 18 points of necrotic damage on the leftmost Deinonychus.
He's still up.
Okay. Pijo. So Pijo's body controlled by Carmen's actions. So Pijo can move, Carmen can act.
Okay. Pijo will probably just stay where he is. He's all right there. Just stay around. It's good. All good. All good, guys. And Carmen is going to cast. She's going to cast Shatter.
Okay.
But she's going to cast it so that from here, so it will catch. I know it will catch his Deinonychus, but it will catch 2 of the ghosts.
That's okay. Go ahead and cast your Shatter with a loud crash. All right. Constitution saves from the 2 ghosts. Both of which fail. Both of them take 19 points of thunder damage. Now, ghosts are resistant to thunder, so they only take 9 points of thunder damage. The Deinonychus, can you roll a con save, please? Even if he succeeds, he's going to die.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, sorry.
I just want to see if he succeeds. Yeah, he does.
He does succeed. So he takes 9 points of thunder damage and then
Bye-bye, Thunder Buddy.
dies. Anything else from Carmen?
She's going to do another Vicious Mockery on the one closest to Zola Tower Bear.
Okay. So the one closest to Zola Tower. Okay. Yep. So wisdom save from that one. Which it fails, takes 8 points of psychic damage. Okay. Anything else from you?
Nope.
Right. Averine's body, Pijo's actions. So Averine's body can move if it wishes. Pijo, controlled by Ty, gets to act.
With you.
Yeah. All right. So we'll keep Averine where she is, and we'll just have we'll carry on. Pijo's doing fine just here, so he's just going to shoot at move the hunter's mark to the top left corner one, and keep shooting.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Top left corner. That's going to hit. 9 points of piercing.
Colossus.
Plus the Colossus.
Okay, second shot if he's not down. Oh, no,
not
we
down.
missed that.
Yeah, that's going to miss that one.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's all he can do.
Okay. Carmen's body, which is Carmen's body, Tower's actions.
Carmen's going to move just over there in between the guys. I think she's pretty confident now. Maybe there, actually. That they're okay. And then Tower will continue his attacks on which one's looking the most roughest out of two coasts.
The leftmost one.
All right, the left one will make attacks on the left one.
It's flickering just that little bit more than the rest.
Okay. Its cadence is not quite right. So
that's gonna hit. And that tears down another of those ghosts. There's only one left.
Okay, claw attack on that one.
That's going to hit.
Sweet.
With a 20 to hit. Oh, no, 16 because you're not actually technically flanking. All right, 13 points of slashing. That heavily wounds the ghost.
Cool. That's what Tower's got.
As your claw comes back, dripping in ectoplasm, what are the Deinonychus going to be doing?
The last Deinonychus is gonna move to there and then start attacking.
Okay.
That's not, come on. What's it do? Deinonychus, my friends. Come on. No, that's a bad roll. 13?
13 will hit.
Oh,
Just
9. All right. Claw attack then.
Will also hit for another 3. This ghost is almost dead. Again.
Deinonychus, 19.
That'll do it.
Yay!
As the last of these ghosts disappears and is fallen, and that soft voice that you heard previously congratulates you all. Well done. And you're all back into your normal bodies. Back the way you should be. You can relax.
That was quite disorientating.
Yep. Instead, what you have is in front of you is a statue of Uptau once again, but his statue visage has changed now. Rather than being the warrior, he seems to be knelt down, arms open, as if reaching out for a hug, like a parent would.
I have so many questions. Who are you?
Do you go to hug the statue?
No, I'm mostly trying to get answers out of this voice right now.
Fair enough.
Power is the best.
Yeah. And you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, the big old bear cuddling with the statue. It feels good. As the huge form that you are starts rubbing and hugging the statue, you'll hear the sound of metal hitting stone, as it sounds like coins hit the floor. You look down. There are 2 rings on the floor, a gold ring and a silver ring.
I was waiting for the CD to collapse. the 2 rings.
Yep, a gold ring and a silver ring.
I'll revert to tower shape.
Okay.
And pick up the 2 rings. We have been given gifts. Do these feel that they have a little glint to them that makes them look?
They feel arcane. One feels a little bit heavier than the other, but they both feel arcane.
Can I do an Arcana check?
You can. All it does is it indicates to you that yes, these are magical items.
Oh, okay. Doesn't tell me anything else.
Have all these seem appear magical. Do you wish to do your thing with them?
I will take them, and I will try to identify them.
All right. So these 2 rings. Okay. You're going to have to bear with me on this one. You don't have to attune to the rings to wear them. You can wear them and that's fine. If you attune to one of the rings, then you can act as if you were in the position of the other ring.
Okay.
So if 2 people attune to each ring, they can both act as if in the position of the other person. If only one person attunes to it, then only that person can act around to where the other person's position is.
So would you make all the ability checks and stuff like that of you acting as them?
No, so you act... So, to use this, it uses up a particular charge. It has 4 charges per day and regains 1d4 charges daily at dawn. So if you choose to act from the position of the other person, it is you, effectively a spectral version of you appears in that place and performs the task. Okay?
T-spot, basically.
So you act from wherever you are, and the result of your action happens at the position of the other ring. Is that clearly understood?
Yes.
What does it take to activate that? Is it...
No action or bonus action required to do so, because the action involved in it involves either an action or a bonus action, usually, to perform.
Right, so a side note, if my action in that position was to grab something, would that then be transferred to my location when that fades?
They would be grappled in that position by the ethereal version of your thing and will stay grappled to it for the time.
Not a grappled person. If I was to pick up an item, just a small item, would my ethereal drop and the item drop with me, or would it come to my location?
It won't come to your location, but it'll stay where it is.
Just stay your person.
Picked up.
Okay.
Okay. Right. We can deal with all the really weird neon situations as they come. Don't worry. But this is...
We're kind of ethereal we can't move, we're ethereal inside the body of the person, so we're like a second presence doing stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
I'll explain all that.
Yep.
And I'll hand it back to Tower and the rings back.
Then, after you understand how the rings work, Uptow's voice returns. My people, my land is sick. A darkness is growing. You don't have much time. Get inside the tomb of the 9 gods. Find the creature and the machine. Destroy them both, and my people will be free. I picked you all of you, for a reason, including, as you all look up, including your friend. Do not doubt his place in this position. I need him, just as much as you do.
Yeah, but who are you?
And that's it. The voice disappears. The statue fades away. All of you go back up to max hit points, whatever you were at, as your bodies all reform and everything is magic is reset. All right. And everyone inside the room also gains 5 temporary hit points.
Guys, you don't think that was a Sararak, do you?
I don't think it's a Sararak.
Insight check.
Luring us in.
Roll an insight check.
When you said everything reset, does that mean expended spell slots return?
100%. Everything. You've all gained the
100%.
benefits. Yep. So spell slots, everything back up, as if you had just had a long rest.
Well, check. Ooh, yeah.
That does not include Grigori, I assume.
Nope. Grigori. They've been down there for about 12 hours. It's not been 12 hours for them, but it's been about 12 hours for you. Okay. After 1 hour, your invisibility fades.
Sure does.
Yep. So what are you doing? Knowing you can't get in there, what are you doing?
Probably looking at how I can get in there. I can't dispel magic, I know that, but just looking at the building, checking it out, trying to keep a low profile because there are yellow sash, yellow banner people and UNT and red wizards and everything else. I suppose I'll cast mage armor once or twice just to make sure I've got that on.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
I'm very focused on this door, on the magic.
Yep. It's about 3 hours in. You start to think, hang on, come on now. They've never taken that long inside of a shrine. You start looking around a little bit more. You don't see any other adventuring parties. You don't see the kobolds. You don't see the Order of the Yellow Banner. You don't see any UNT. You don't see any red wizards. You also don't see Oofbert.
Well, sure, why would I care?
Why would you care?
That's right.
Yep. Another hour or so goes by. Roll another perception check.
All right. Do I notice that but I know he's missing at this point, I suppose.
At this point, you know that he's missing. He's not just hiding. He's not that
All
good of a
right.
hider.
Can I go where he was and try to find his footprints?
Yes, you can. All right. With the 17, that is what he was using to hide. So you find his hidey hole. You see the spot where he was sat in, and there's you can see his footprints behind a little bush up against the wall of the shrine. The broken branches indicating where he was kind of holding on to and shivering. And then you see drag marks leading away from his position.
Well, that's too bad for him.
Yep.
Investigate a little bit just to see if I can figure out what dragged him away.
Okay, are you going to roll a survival check to see if you can?
I mean, I'm not walking far away. It's more of like 10, 20 feet. I have no intention of like chasing him into the woods.
No.
Survival, you say?
Yeah, survival. Okay. So, Grigori, you look at the tracks that are around him and try to figure out how he's moved or what creature might have dragged him through. You don't see other footprints, but you do see a large, round track like a snake slithering away from this position.
Right.
So you can figure a UNT with a snake-like body took him away.
I'll follow the direction more or less a little bit, just to see which way it's going, and then if I see that it just continues on, double back to the building.
Okay. You begin to follow it. It does wind its way around the path that you guys had planned to go then across the bridge over towards the other side of the river. So you stop. You know that because you guys are up here at this position. after you've followed it a little way and confirmed that the drag marks have dragged Uthbert over the bridge and towards the Serpent headquarters, you return to your shrine and hide out for the rest of the duration. Eventually, our heroes climb victoriously back up the staircase. What do you do when you guys get out?
I'll go find Grigori and give him a big, huge hug.
I probably would have just tried to hide at that point. Just because I couldn't use invisibility forever. So I just tried to hide and rest up.
Mm-hmm. And with Zola's passive perception, she finds you. Easy.
All right.
Are we going to find it unusual that
the sun has changed. It's a little bit darker. You're getting close to the evening, whereas you guys entered this fairly early in the morning. Absolutely. You would notice immediately that something else has gone on here.
What happened down there?
We switched bodies, and there was a disembodied voice, and we don't know who it was, but they gave us some stuff.
Are you still switched?
No, it's me. It's me. I was in Tower's body.
Oh. Okay.
It's very tall. It's a completely different perspective from up there.
Why did it take so long?
Oh.
was having a lot of fun.
It didn't take us this long.
You've been there the entire day. It's almost sunset. You've been there at least 3 watches.
Wow.
The presence of time was less than half an hour.
It was really quick.
Yeah, magic.
Where's Uthbert?
Uthbert's gone. He got dragged away by some Yuan tea in a unfortuitous moment. Let me show you. And here's where he was hiding. Here are the marks that I have found. As you are all within the structure, it did not seem prudent to chase after him alone.
You did not notice him being dragged away?
Well, 12 hours is a long time. Keeping watches, you know how it is.
How long before you noticed that he'd been dragged away?
3 hours, I think.
Okay.
Remind me not to put Gregory on watch.
Just don't tap him on the bum, and I think you'll be all right. To be honest.
He is the new shot.
See, Everine, all this time, you want me to take extra watches in the night when Towers got the right idea. I just ought to have no watches at all.
That's all well and good. I had my suspicions about Uthbert. He seemed really only to know locations within the city, and not very much good for archaeological or historical information. In fact,
As the map.
Grigori made a copy.
Here it is, a full copy of the city.
Which he does have.
We have not needed Uthbert since we've been able to prove that this map is accurate.
So
Thus far.
he knows where we are, and he knows what we've got.
They now have the map.
True, but that doesn't give them the cubes already in our possession. They can have the entire map and know where all the shrines are, and it gets them no closer to having all the cubes, so long as we have our own.
It makes our approaches to these new temples more treacherous.
They've been living here for a while. You don't think they already know where the shrines are?
No.
I believe that was how Uthbert found out about the shrine locations from the beginning. He was hired, and they pointed out these shrines to him, at least if his story is to be believed.
His story was that they hired him to find the shrines.
Yes. I don't believe they have the locations, but they do now. If they had these locations already, I would expect them to have these places guarded. At least if they did not know how to get in or to solve the puzzle, they would keep a watch on them to stop all of these adventurers that are obviously in the city looting the things.
So my suspicion about Uthbert was it was actually Valindra, and the fact that he couldn't enter the shrine seems to support that theory, if not prove it. And it may very well be that they did know where all the shrines were, and his job was to escort us to each so that the Yuan-Ti themselves didn't have to face the dangers of the shrines.
You believe her to be this witch, but yeah, she seems to have more power than, well, she seems quite powerful. The magic in the floating city presented that, so I am surprised she was taken so easily, if that is true.
She may not have been taken. She might have gone willingly. They may be in league. In fact, we know that they are somewhat in league.
Could you have a look? The marks. Can you have a look to see if they're proper drag marks, or if there's like a scuffle or willingness to go with?
Okay. So, yes, he can look. It looks like there was a sign of struggle, but that sign of struggle was extremely weak. It was a quick surprise grab, gone. If it wasn't for Grigori's 5, or passive of 11 rather.
Sure.
Yeah. There would have probably been more of a struggle, but there wasn't. Tower does, however, remember using detect magic to try and detect magic on Uthbert, and there was none. So either what Averine suspects is true, and somehow, like other people have done in the past, Valindra managed to hide the fact that she was using magic, or he was just a mundane individual.
So didn't Tower previously use detect magic inside the heart of the tower? Did she show up as an illusion at that time?
Yeah, because she was using illusion magic to keep herself looking different.
Okay, so
you noticed it.
Right, so previously, the witch, I used detect magic before we entered the temple, and I used it at the heart of the tower. She did not. Uthbert did not present and look like he was under a guise of an illusion.
As I recall the interaction, she was very observant of your keen insights, and a spell to conceal the fact that one is casting magics is not very difficult to achieve. So she might have thought better about her approach in her subsequent interaction with us.
This is true. I was not subtle the last time.
Regardless, Valindra, common fellow with a silly mustache, which really doesn't matter. He was with us before, he is gone now. The only question is if we bother to go after him. I believe our plans were to head that direction anyway, so I don't see how this really affects our decision.
We should choose. The night is falling. It's getting dangerous here. Perhaps we should choose a new camping spot for tonight, not something we've been to before. I do not know what information will be given to the Yuan-Ti or Valindra, for that matter, if that is the case.
Need we rest? I've been out here for quite some time. I feel just fine. If you all are tired, we can spend the night, but otherwise, as you say, others are after us. Perhaps bedding down for the evening is unwise.
How do we feel? I know we've got the benefits of a long rest, but do we feel like we can have the benefits of a long rest?
You feel fine. You absolutely do feel like you had the benefits of the long rest. You feel as though you woke up as the sun is setting, ready to work through the night.
I cannot speak for the others. I'm feeling quite invigorated since coming out of the temple.
To be clear, in that period I was waiting, did Grigori get the benefits of a full rest?
No, because Grigori wasn't.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right.
I feel fine. We can go on.
Inside check.
You can if you want. You don't. Okay.
We just want to do it.
I mean, we
No,
haven't been in
it
a
doesn't.
fight. Looks a little tired. Looks a little tired, but he doesn't look out of it.
Zoning out a little bit, but that's all.
Well,
All right.
if you say so, I wouldn't want you taking watch. So.
So are you still going to follow your plan of moving through the city along that line that you drew across the river over in that direction?
I think when we came across this, we were following the track carts, sorry, the cart tracks even. Can Peter pick those back up again?
You can do. Roll a survival check. As Pijo.
That's Peter. Tower assist. That's not good. Tower assists?
Tower assists. Okay. All right. So
Sorry.
with tower assisting, yeah, you did. You're fine. You will be able to pick up the tracks. The tracks do continue to head south of this direction.
Did we wish to perhaps pick up a visit with those characters?
Well, we might be able to join forces with them. If we expect resistance from Rosnisi's faction, perhaps having them on our side will be useful.
Or perhaps while they are bedding down, Zola can make another attempt on the treasures that we saw.
That's not a very nice thing to do.
That no one saw.
So saw.
No one saw treasures. Zola was focused on the reward.
Soda felt
This city is crawling with you on T. I do not see how having 4 or 5 people, even with that mysterious wagon with us, would turn the tide. If it comes to a full-out fight, we will lose. I don't see how trying to enlist these fellows to our aid will be of any benefit.
Well, a full-out fight would be the worst-case scenario. And if it does come to the worst-case scenario, then having some allies on our side will be helpful.
If
But
it
there's
comes to the worst case scenario, I am running away. And
Well-
you would be advised to do the same.
that perhaps if they now have the map locations to the other shrines, then perhaps there are forces there now. We may need help to guard the shrines so we do not walk into an ambush. It would help having an extra eye out. Should we approach them?
I'd like to see what they have to say.
Sounds good.
Then if you guys follow the tracks and continue following this this cart, this construct, you will come across their campsite. Are you all approaching without stealth, or are you approaching stealthily?
I presume in this city we should always move with stealth.
Always move stealth. And
Okay.
I would cast my friendly neighborhood. Cast without trace.
All right. Then stealth checks all around. And everyone gets a +10.
Zola, were you going to say something?
I'm definitely gonna be stealth no matter what y'all do.
But you're likely to kind of separate yourself from the group a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there are high places for me to stay, I'll go climb along those things. Parkour.
Climbing up over the ruins and things. It's quite packed. It's
Thanks,
Miss it. All right. Well, oddly enough, you guys will stealth up to them in a spot that looks similar to other ruins that you've encountered before. However, they are set up in watch position. Perception checks from everyone. Okay. Zola, first thing you notice, high above the building, the drow is stood, hidden. As you're kind of up on the building as well, he's doing a very similar thing, watching you. Well, not watching you, but watching out for danger. You spot him. He doesn't spot you. Then you look down, he seems to be watching over the campsite of his group of allies. They are bedding down for the night.
If Piju is flying or anything of the sort, is he up above? Is he looking out?
I would say Pijao would be within close proximity to tower, so he'd be quite close.
I'll see if I can get his attention, but I will stop if it's not working immediately.
Get whose attention? Sorry.
Piju's.
All right, so Pijao will be close by to you. He will.
Okay, I'm gonna give him one of these and point out the drow.
Okay. Forgot you got new tokens, so I need to add the new tokens.
Many thanks to Casey for the new art.
Yeah. Incredible new art.
Oh, shucks.
Mm.
So, go ahead and spread yourselves out. You should be able to see yourselves over here. Move yourselves into whatever approaching position. If you want to gain the benefits of Towers Pass Without Trace, you need to be within 30 feet of him. But
As we're walking and following, what precisely do we plan to do? Are we going to walk in and say, "Hello, how are you? Please help us with the WoTC"? Or do we intend to take their stuff? Why exactly are we doing this?
I think that we can show them our superiority and invite them to join us for their benefit, a mutual benefit, clearly. But a diplomatic approach is what I would recommend.
And if they refuse, do we kill them?
I guess it depends on the nature of their refusal. Because they seem to be here for the same reason that we are. And if they insist on trying to find the other cubes, again, we'll let them know diplomatically that we know where they all are, and we know which ones are still in the shrines and they don't. They're clearly at a disadvantage. So again, lead with diplomacy is what I'd recommend.
Do we remember what, when we did see the 3 or the 4 before, what species they were?
So you remember a drow, a half-dragon, a Cholton gladiator, and an elven woman.
Well, then perhaps Carmen or myself should talk to them. Carmen, we all agree, has the more attractive face.
I think you mean your girlfriend has the most attractive face, doesn't she? Nudge.
Of the two of us, most find my face to be off-putting.
I don't think it's your face. Your face is fine. Your face is fine. You've got a nice face.
Oh, you're very kind.
It's these two bad boys up here. You know.
All right, so which of you is approaching this group?
Maybe we should.
Me, Grigori, somehow.
Maybe we should do something about the non-lethal about the sentry.
Yeah.
Carmen, why don't you talk to them, Carmen, and I'll go with you, and I can step in and help you, or vice versa, should the need arise.
Could do. That's fine. I could pull you in there like you're a prisoner, but
If that's how you want to go, I'm happy to do that.
I don't know. I'm just thinking what would be the best way to approach. No, let's go together. I think honesty is the best policy. Let's go together. Make sure they're aware that we're not alone, but we mean, we come in peace. We don't mean any harm, and try and soften your features a bit.
Do we all see the drow keeping watch, or is it just Zola who sees him?
It was Zola, Averine, and Tower, specifically.
I'll point. There's one up there keeping watch. We should probably do something about him. Or probably talk to him directly.
Oh, I think it would be best if you, Tower, and Pijo simply hid a bit, and Carmen and I will announce ourselves as we approach. Better for him to see us.
Okay. Then as Carmen and Grigori start approaching, we're going to take a 15-minute break. So, on your screens in just a moment, if with bearing technical issues, I think everything should be fine, right? Yeah. You should see on your screen this week's Who's That Monster? When you figure out what it is, type in the chat what you think it is, and then we will join back in 15 minutes once we've learned, once we've had a bit of a break, okay? So bye. Welcome back, everyone, after the short break. I do apologize. It's ridiculously hot, so I'm still going to be eating an ice cream during the rest of the session. It's strawberry vanilla. It's great. All right. So, after coming back, on your screens, we should have the Who's That Monster for today. Drum roll. And it is the Oaken Bolter, right?
Yep.
So the Oaken Bolter is the construct that the party are about to see for a second time. They saw it last week. Zola had snuck under it and seen all of the equipment that was on it. You will find the Oaken Bolter in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. So, we rejoin the party as Carmen and Grigori step forward. They step into view. The drow stood watch.
Prestidigitation some fire in my hand so he can clearly see us.
Okay. Are you making a point to make sure that it doesn't look aggressive?
Yeah.
Because it looks like you're summoning fire.
Well, yeah, don't do that. No, don't do that. Let's just do spotlights instead. And instead she prestidigitations like spotlights and then she'll pull her loot out and just
knowing Carmen, she pulls out her loot and Grigori like sighs and then does like little light show with like green lights and purple lights and like background display for her.
Do I just get this right? This really attractive half elf starts playing and then comes out of the light. Hello.
So
with the pimp.
with Grigori stepping up.
It's a manager. I'm a manager.
The drow stands up, immediately draws his bow and trains it on Grigori and Carmen, and shouts out to the rest of them. You'll hear a hustle and a shuffle of individuals as they kind of move up to this wall that stands between them. So on top of the roof, you have the drow with his weapon trained at you. Behind him, you can see this ruined wall, behind which are the bolter, the half-dragon, the elven woman, and the gladiator.
Can I message to him?
What are you going to message?
Just a quick whisper. Say, we mean no harm. We just come to have a chat. It's okay? Bling!
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion. I can't see that.
13. You may approach, all of you, as there more than just the two of you.
Did he say this through message Shakarman?
Message.
Is
He's
it-
shouting that
Is
back
this,
to,
oh, there's mine.
to the two of you.
Okay. And I said to Grigori, what do you think? Should we tell him?
Not that we're willing to tell you about.
Okay, all right.
Then state your business or die. We have our weapons trained upon you.
So
Hands up, walk forward. Carmen, state our business.
Tling. We are simply travelers. We believe we may be here for a similar reason to you, if your reason is justified, of course, and genuine and friendly. We may be able to help you. As you can see, we have no weapons drawn. There are more than the two of us. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no reason to lie to you. But we wish no harm on you. So please lower your weapons and let's have a chat.
We will lower our weapons when you show us all of your people.
Okay, we'll chat with weapons drawn. That's fine. So you may have noticed there are UNT about. There are wizards quite about. This is certainly a convergence of quite a lot of interests, including your own and including ours, I suppose. We are here seeking to resolve some problems, resolving death and undeath. Perhaps you're here for different reasons.
Go on.
I'm wondering if you're here for the same reasons. Are you here for that issue? Or just here to loot what is an old place that certainly has a lot of loot?
We have been hired by someone who would benefit from this curse being lifted. True.
My arms are tired. If you wish to keep your bow drawn, that's fine. But I'm going to put my hands down. Just. Well, so what have you... We've learned that there's some sort of tomb at the north part of town that may have to do with that. We're trying to gain entrance to the tomb, but UNT are a constant problem.
We are here because we have been told and learned that there are powerful treasures to be found in and below the city of Omu. And that is what we are trying to find. Powerful treasures. If you wish... Yes?
What if we all lower our weapons and
we don't have any weapons. It's them that would have to lower their weapons.
I know, but I'm trying to be nice. When I say we lower weapons, I mean
Sure.
you guys.
Right.
You know, the royal we, and then we might be able to help you find these treasures.
Roll a persuasion check.
Hopefully, a better one.
With persuasion, because I'm helping her?
Oh, can I do a luck?
Yeah, you can use luck.
Yeah. 13 is just 13.
So, you talk to him. We understand that two of you is not going to be your entire party. So while we would like to invite you in to talk civilly, it will be difficult to do so with the fear of danger all around. So, again, I propose the same thing. If your friends wish to come out from the shadows, we will lower our weapons and we can talk civilly. We can communicate about this because, after all, we have no benefit for killing you. You have no benefit for killing us. We are simply here for a job, and if you can help us, well, then fine. So, reveal your friends. We will drop our weapons.
Oh, you are an Omu, friend. Even revealing our friends doesn't mean we're not still constantly surrounded by danger.
So, does anyone step forward?
All right, so Tao's just done an insight check, and then PJ's going to do an insight check.
He seems fairly straightforward and honest. I mean, he's a drow, but he's hanging around with non-drow, which means...
PJ's going to step forward. I believe him.
And this is Pijow. See, we are trustworthy. He's a bird and he's on the ground.
Are
anyone
there
else step
any
forward?
other members of your party, or is it just three of you?
I was
Oh no, not just him. No, there's not just him.
Okay. Averine steps forward. Okay. 4. Any more?
Tao step forward. He will light up a flame in the dark. Right on his palm.
Okay. 5 of you. Very well. You may enter our camp. Come in. And the rest of them kind of surround. The drow will drop down, sit in the corner, back up against both walls. A scimitar just kind of spinning in his hands with the point in the floor. So, tell me, what do you want?
Avarine's the brain of this operation.
I overheard the conversation. I'm Averine, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleased to meet you.
Who said that?
That was the half-dragon. I'm just pulling up his character sheet.
Okay.
The name is Robin.
It's a pleasure
How
to make your
tall-
acquaintance, Robin.
How tall is Robin?
Robin is about 7 foot tall.
He'll look you in the eye.
Blue.
Red.
Hey.
I already have a red one.
Everyone has to have a red one. And everyone has to have a blue one.
Who is your blue one?
And he's kind of a dark blue. Very, very dark blue.
We are here to gain entrance into the tomb up north. And as we understand it, the curse plaguing the land is to be solved from therein. Our intention is to defeat the curse.
Right.
To get
Well,
in.
we had been trying to get in there. We had one of the 9 keys that you need to get in. Seems to have gone. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
The Yuan-Ti have been looking for keys quite often. They have emptied at least 2 or 3 of the shrines. It wouldn't surprise me if they had them. If you lost one, that's immaterial when you're missing still the other 8. And the Yuan-Ti may have them.
Roll a deception check. Because you know full well where this thing is.
Sure. I cannot buy a break today.
So, this... I interrupted you. Sorry. Keep going. We know about the shrines. We know about the cubes.
Each shrine holds a cube, and each cube needs to go into the door of the tomb in order to unlock it. And we are acquiring these cubes, but we understand that at least one is held by the leader of the Yuan-Ti of the city, a man that goes by the name Raznizi.
The elven woman speaks up. That is not good news, then. afraid. I would not want to cross paths with the Yuan-Ti unless we absolutely had to. Do you have any thoughts about how you might get this cube off of him?
We have some thoughts, but we want to be prepared for the worst in case it does come to fisticuffs.
Right.
But to lay any doubts aside, we will have to deal with the Yuan-Ti at some point. Does this mean that you'll be leaving if that is the case?
In all reality, we have no qualms with the Yuan-Ti. Our purpose, our goal, is simply to get into the tomb, collect the eye, the skull, and the navel, and we will be gone. So
The
if
navel?
we can... Yes.
The eye, the skull, and the navel.
Yes. You may not be aware of some of the more famous lost treasures of Chult, one of which is the navel of the moon. It is said to have been carved from a chunk of the moon itself. We hear it's inside, and we hope to procure it. If we can make some sort of deal with the Yuan-Ti, we'll get the navel, we'll get the Eye of Zaltek, we'll get the Skull Chalice, and then we will be out of their hair. No problems whatsoever.
No muss, no fuss, as they say.
Yes.
So you would deal with the Yuan-Ti if need be, is that right?
Absolutely. I mean, they have their purposes for being here. They probably have, in their mind, just as valid a reason to want to stop people from getting into the tomb as we would want to get in. So I'm sure we could find some form of common ground.
So what did you have in mind in terms of common ground?
Well, I've only just learned that I might need to deal with them, so I haven't been thinking about that yet. I need some time to think, mull a few things over. An intellectual mind needs a moment to snap into gear.
Well,
Intellectual mind never does that. She is quite
Really?
disturbed all the time. Yes.
And who is your intellectual?
Probably.
I've told you she's the brains of the operation.
all right. Well, we have an idea, or I have an idea to get in. Well, less of an idea, but more of a plan that's in progress. One of our party is apparently of interest to the Yuan-Ti, and we may leverage that to gain entrance without any fight.
Which one of you is of interest to the Yuan-Ti?
It's another of us back at our camp. She's not here at the moment.
Roll another deception check.
Getting better.
I can't. I just can't with roll 20 today. Or last week.
It's your turn.
The
It's your turn.
Chultan gladiator will stand up and start squaring, puffing out his chest. Hey, that is the second time you have lied to us. Where is she?
It probably won't be the last. She's not.
She's a sheep.
Okay, where are they?
There's no reason for us to show all of our cards at the moment.
We have let you into our camp.
One of us could be the one that they're interested in. I'm not going to tell you which one of us it is in case you want to take one of us. This is an obvious thing to me. I don't know why it's so difficult to get into your skull. I'm not going to reveal who it is that they're interested in.
And we're not going to tell you if this is all of us or if there's one more or two more or 8 more somewhere else.
But, like I said, the Yuan-Ti have an interest in one of us. So we might be able to leverage this to gain entrance into their stronghold unmolested. And then we have heard tell that Raznizi is unhappy with his current lot as what has been relegated to a guardsman. So, for whatever reason, he has this cube. We can present ourselves as an instrument for change, whatever that change may be, in order to acquire the cube.
So, he has one of these cubes. You hope to get it from him. Do
He
you
has at
intend
least
to collect all of the other cubes first, or collect his cube and then finish off your hunt?
I feel like we'll present a stronger case for ourselves and our utility if we come with all the cubes, or if we have acquired all the cubes, not necessarily bring them. That part we haven't determined yet.
We do not know how many cubes he actually has. At least one, maybe more.
Okay. Well, and they all kind of look at one another for a moment. We can feel confident that you initially don't mean to kill us or have any sort of harm. We might be able to be civil. But if you require our aid for anything, if you want us to work together, there will be a price. We do not come free. The company of the Yellow Banner do not come free.
Well, we're not here to hire you. We are here to show our mutual support, working towards the same goal. If you need to get into the tomb, then you need the keys. And we have at least one of the keys. And we mean to acquire the rest of them. If you want to get in the tomb, you will cooperate with us. Or else we will not share our keys with you.
Roll a persuasion check. It's a valid one, so it's a very valid argument.
Maybe make a deal. You're good at those.
Before I make the deal, or before I make the roll, I just say a quick prayer for help from the Magister and give myself a guidance.
Okay.
This is obviously I'm not good at persuading people. And then 14.
Okay. Very well. But we claim whatever treasure we wish inside the tomb.
No,
We will.
you said you wanted 3 treasures, and you can get those 3 treasures. But
Well, all right. Then we split everything we find between the 9 of us.
I'm sorry if I've given you the misunderstanding that this is some sort of negotiation. I'm just telling you the terms, that if you want to get into the tomb, you will cooperate with us. If you don't want to cooperate with us, or if you want to barter out some deal, then there is no further need to discuss these things. We're going into the tomb, and you can either help us or stand in our way.
Ah. That is how it is then. I'm sorry, but we do not deal in such ultimatums. You wish to make a deal, we can make a deal. But if you wish to actively stand in our way in such a fashion, I'm afraid that we will have to take what you have.
Averin can get quite heated at times. This is not there.
It's the hair.
All she's saying is you wanted 3 items. You can have your 3 items. We get the rest.
Everything that's inside the tomb, you get everything.
We don't want anything technically.
You have been
Don't
hired.
Inside that tomb.
You have been hired to procure.
Yourself? Or do you want us to deal with it?
So, to my understanding, you're not actually here to get our help. You're here to just tell me that you're going to stop us unless we don't try to stop you, right?
We'll
No,
try and
it's
stop-
a mutual. We both have the same goal, to get into the tomb.
Yes,
If
but
I-
as I'm sure you would know, and before you continue and going on, we're all adventurers here. We've all been to many a different place before. We know there is a lot more to be found, as well as danger and rewards to be found within lost tombs. Yes, there are the 3 that we have been hired to procure, but we have no qualm about collecting and claiming anything else that we might find inside the tomb. That is what we intend to do. If you
how's
wish to
this?
stop us from being able to do that, then we have a problem. Here
How's
is where
this?
I'm offering to split the deal. Anything that is found, we split.
I'll make you a deal I think you'll like even better. Though I can't speak for the rest, so let's just put it out there. We'll work together to get to the tomb. We'll work together to gain the keys. We'll work together to enter the tomb. You and your band can go in first and have a half-hour head start. Once we get inside, whatever you find is yours. Whatever we find is ours. No tricks, no traps, no acting against one another. A simple head start for your help. And then once we're inside, bygones be bygones. We won't attack you, you won't attack us. But if you find whatever treasure, be it a dragon hoard or be it 3 copper, that's yours. And vice versa.
You think we're fools?
You know the dangers
Heading
of the
into
tomb.
a dangerous place before you. You just simply expect us to set off all of the traps.
Oh, I will take the half-hour head start if you prefer. I will gladly take the half-hour head start if you're offering for us to have the initiative. Either way, we work together to get there. Once we're there, fair game on the entrance and what's inside. You don't know us, we don't know you. Could we really trust one another to evenly split the treasure anyway? Perhaps, perhaps not.
Then if you don't trust us to split the treasure, if we can't trust you to split the treasure, why should we even bother helping you when we could just take what you have now? Take
Because
the person
it's-
of you that is apparently worthy of the UNT's attention and sell him on.
Because it is unlikely that unless we work together that any of us will be able to enter the tomb at all. We are currently bickering over something that may be impossible. If Raz Nisi does not give up his cube voluntarily, it matters not. If we had 7 or 8 of the cubes and not the 9th, all of this matters not. Let's work together and then we can bicker over how we're going to split treasures.
That is a good point. We've got to fight him, yeah, and get the cube. Otherwise, neither one of us is getting in there.
We could all be dead before we even get to the tomb.
That's
The way
true.
the UNT are going.
As you say, you don't necessarily need to fight him. You have something he wants. He has something that we want. Why don't we take everything? Like, if you're not going to agree to our terms, we're just going to take everything off of you, including this other person, and trade with Raz and C to get into the tomb.
We have
You don't know who the person
theories.
is.
We have theories. We do not know his intent. We do not know if this will work, and it may come to combat either way. Would you prefer to have equal numbers, or would you prefer to have half of your party dead? Because you will lose people if you attack us now.
And besides, we're here in a fair parley. No one's going to attack anyone. It would be foolish on either side to do so.
It would be foolish both ways. We will lose people. We will not be strong together. Let's be strong together.
Okay. So, what do you require from us?
We recently lost our guide. The UNT may or may not have access to the final tombs. They may be guarded, we may need help. We have had success navigating these tombs, so have you, I believe. So one can go in, or one group can stay and protect. Either way, which one that is, you can decide.
How about this situation? You're going to go to the rest of the tombs, the shrines, right? You want our bodies there to help in case there is danger. If there is no danger, half of your party, half of ours, enters the shrine together. We claim the cube from the shrine together. The other halves stay outside to deal with whatever may come. If there is danger already there on the outside, of course, both groups will fight to defend their own lives and claim the shrine. But actually stepping into the shrines, half and half each party.
Certainly not.
Okay.
Why not?
Why not?
Why?
Why not, Avery? This seems fair. They are capable.
That seems more than fair. Though to be fair, the real reason we need to work together is to deal with the Yuan-Ti and Rosnisi. But certainly that could be a workable arrangement with the Yuan-Ti as well. What is the opposition, Averine?
It seems that this one is trying to weasel his way, into getting their hands on the puzzle cubes. And
No one can enter the puzzle cubes without all of them. If I have one, if you have one, if she has one, if the drow has one, we'll all have to go in together anyway. I won't sleep well at night for fear of getting my throat cut, but certainly I don't need sleep. I need bodies to help me get through the Yuan-Ti.
And that is what we'll do. When it comes to the shrines themselves, we split each party half and half together to claim the cubes. We will remain together as one large group. And then when we get to the door, when we get into the tomb, as you say, once we're through that door, then we go our separate ways.
So out of character, I want to object, but I want to.
I want to murder them all and take their equipment. Is what I want to do.
I want to communicate that they're trying to gain leverage or whatever, while we all currently have all the leverage. So giving them any leverage is obviously a surrender to their requests. And so I would like to try to elbow Grigori and have an aside to discuss this.
What? One moment while I speak with my compatriot here.
Okay.
Yes.
Grigori, we have all the cubes. They want to get their hands on the cubes, and then they'll slit our wrists, or slit our throats when we're not looking.
We have some of the cubes, but not all of the cubes.
Before you continue the conversation, we need to clarify where this conversation is taking place.
Like, step away, like, ensure no one's hearing this.
I need to be able to tell whether or not the drow has line of sight over your lips.
Ah.
If he can read your lips.
Well, now I want to talk in Infernal just because I know that he's reading my lips. But on the map, I suppose I would have stepped out to about there with Averine if she'd go with me.
Sure.
Okay. But you wouldn't break line of sight. You would stay in sight of the group, right?
Correct. Though Averine probably has her back to the drow.
Mm-hmm. So he can only see Grigori's side of the conversation.
Right. Okay, meta, keep that out of the character. Yeah. A, we have some of the cubes, not all of the cubes. And then B, why did we come and talk to these people? The purpose was so that they would help us deal with the Yuan-Ti, because that's the more dangerous issue. I don't see how this proposition...
If they have one cube, then they can demand any price they want. We can't let them have a single cube. Currently, we have to negotiate with the Yuan-Ti.
You know I love a deal, and you know I love to keep a deal. The agreement is that we'll split the cubes fairly and enter the tomb. If they break the deal, we'll deal with that. If they break the deal, then all bets are off. If you understand my meaning. But if they're willing to keep the deal as we're willing to keep the deal, I do not see the problem. They can't enter the tomb without us. We couldn't enter the tomb without them. They want to loot it for treasure. We want to loot it for treasure. Some of us. Some of us have more interests, have more high-minded goals. But I don't see how our interests are in conflict. Certainly we'll keep dual watch. Certainly I'm not going to sleep and just let one of them keep watch when they can slit my throat in the middle of the night. But I doubt they'll do the same either.
Currently, we have all the cards on that are to be had that we know of. We have all the puzzle cubes. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
If they get a single puzzle cube, they can exact and demand other things from us.
Like what? That we go together to the tomb and acting together with our share of cubes, enter the tomb?
And I'm expecting something to occur before we get to the tomb, that they'll say, okay, well, now we want this, that, and the other.
Oh, Averine, you understand I like a deal. If they break the deal, we'll deal with it then. Most harshly. But if they keep the deal, why fret?
It doesn't seem like I'm making any leeway here. It seems
what
like
is
everyone...
what is the alternative, Averine? What should we pay them a bunch of gold so that they'll come with us and we get to keep the cubes? Like what could we possibly offer them to come with us on this adventure?
They claim knowledge that we all know what it is to be an adventurer, and surely they know that numbers are important, that they stand a better chance of surviving if there are more in their party than less. We are reducing their risk in this investment by offering our services as co-adventurers. That is what we offer.
Put yourselves in their shoes. We're asking them to risk much to travel with us, and in exchange they won't get any cubes, and they'll just have to rely on people they've never met before to be honest that we're going to let them into the tomb to get the thing that they've been contracted to find.
No, we're not asking them to risk anything. In fact, we're asking them to risk less by offering our combined power to get into the tomb. And they want 3 items. They only want 3 items. And we have no desire to get those 3 items. So there's no conflicting interests once we get into the tomb. Offering them more than what they want, there's no reason to offer them a single thing other than our prowess to get them into the tomb. But if you want
other than the fact that they will say no unless we offer them something more than just our prowess to get them in the tomb.
No,
this is a negotiation. They have no reason to say yes to your terms. We're not giving them anything under your terms.
We're giving them the ability to use our powers to get in and through the tomb and survive it.
Well, Averine, I'll make no one enter an agreement they don't want. So if you don't want to enter that agreement, we can explain as much and go our separate ways. But I doubt very much that they would agree, yes, let's just tag along with these people we don't know on the promise that once they have all the cubes, they'll keep their word and let us in, and we won't murder them in the middle of the night.
Well, again, I am relying on their sense of reason, that there is benefit to more people traveling through this tomb and getting into the tomb than fewer. If they don't see the benefit of having more people, then clearly they're dimwits, and there's no expectation to try to reason with them.
Oh, it's not a question of benefit, it's a question of trust. I think they if we all knew each other from the time we were growing up and were a great group of friends, I'm sure that would be great. But as it is, they do not know who we are. They do not know if they can trust our intentions, and a promise to, hey, come tag along through this entire tomb. If I were on their side, it sounds like, hey, come adventuring with us. Let's gather all this gear, and then we'll murder you and stab you in the backs and walk away with all the treasure, and you get none.
Well, the question of trust doesn't go away with any sort of deal. I mean, if we make a deal, the question of trust is still there.
That's why that is precisely why they want to have some of the cubes in their possession. We have some in our possession, and once we get into the tomb, we walk away. So we work together, but have to trust each other as little as possible.
I do not think that our splitting of cubes is a wise course of action, but it feels like the rest of the party were very inclined to go along with their offer before I butted in. So if
I simply think if we refuse, then they will not work with us. And if that's the case, why did we bother coming all this way to talk to them if we're just going to put an offer that will make them refuse to work with us?
Well, the assumption that they'll refuse to work with us is just that. It's an assumption.
Well, give it one more try, Averine. Maybe you can talk them around where you couldn't talk me around.
All right, I'll try to talk them into it again.
Okay. So, you return to the group. What is... actually, we'll have the half-dragon step up for this point. What is the verdict?
Oh, Averine wants to talk more. Let me just sit down.
Right.
Here's the deal. We know exactly where all the shrines are. We know where most of the empty ones are. So we have the knowledge that you need. We have acquired more than one of the cubes. When you have acquired one and then lost one. So clearly we are better suited to this task than you are. We have a plan to get and treat with the Yuan-Ti, which you do not. We bring everything to the table. What we are offering is our combined might with your combined might to continue gathering these puzzle cubes and enter the shrine. We are also offering our combined defenses against against our combined defenses to whatever lies ahead of us in the tomb. Surely you can see the reasonability of traveling together against the unknown dangers of the tomb. And surely you'd like to live after you've acquired your 3 treasures that you've already been paid or will be paid handsomely for. So this is what we have to offer. Everything that we bring to the table, which is clearly more than what you bring to the table. And in exchange, we will protect you the way that we have protected each other.
Right. Roll a persuasion check. And you can guidance yourself. Get that extra D4.
Since, again, I'm appealing to reason and intelligence, can I make an intelligence persuasion check?
Are you proficient in persuasion?
No, so it would just be straight intelligence.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Logical.
Okay, so a 13.
I will use luck because I feel like I can do better than that. Okay, so 17 plus 5, so it's a 22 plus 26.
So it's a 26. Okay. Right. I got a headache. So
She does that to me too.
yeah, what you're saying, what you're saying to me is, all that you're really offering us is making things a little bit easier for us to get into the tomb. But the problem with that is we don't know you, we don't trust you. We don't know if you're going to cause more trouble for us than less. While I completely agree with everything that you've just said, you hold a lot of benefits for us working with you. we do need to have just a little bit more than just a little bit of insurance. That means you're not going to kill us in our sleep, thereby causing us to fail in our side of the deal, in our job. We'll take the 3 treasures that we were looking for, the Eye of Zaltek, the Navel of the Moon, and the Skull Chalice. On top of that, we get to pick 1 treasure from within the tomb that we keep. You get everything else, but we get to pick 1 treasure once we're out. We'll work with you all the way till that point. All right?
Before I agree, I'll just tell you that if we wanted to kill you in your sleep, we would have already done it, you big dolt. We obviously approached you with and raised all sorts of ruckus so we would draw your attention and not be alarmed. But we could have killed you like that. But a single treasure in addition to the 3 priceless treasures you already want. Fine, I guess that'll be satisfactory. And I'll walk away.
Then we have a deal. The Order of the Yellow Banner will aid you. Who are you, by the way?
I'm Avarine. I already told you.
Well, yes, but like, I know individuals, but like,
we're unaffiliated. We're not registered as a traveling company or anything, an adventuring party or anything like that.
All right. Well, we were about to have some supper. Would you like some soup?
Yes.
Okay. Domain here, and he points to the gladiator, makes a really mean chicken soup.
Grigori will break out from his bag the wine from the wreck of the Star Goddess, where I was able to carry my total carrying capacity worth of wine. And we'll break that out for everybody.
I wanted to incite the offer to enjoy their dinner.
Roll an insight check.
22.
Does Tower know where?
Yeah.
I think, does Tower? I just rolled a perception. Does Tower know where?
Zola, what was your stealth check? I think
20.
it was 20. Okay.
Plus 10.
I wasn't near him.
No.
I wasn't near him
Yeah.
to get the pass.
I would have
Step
dropped
around the back way.
Yeah. So you'd spot Zola just creeping up from above. Insight version, he does actually seem fairly honest. It could be good. You're welcome to obviously do your own checks to make sure the food isn't ill and poisoned, but as they mention it, this gladiator fellow will step in towards the ruins next to here, reach through a broken window, pull out this nice big cauldron. Who's ready for dinner? Ting, 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 ting. And he just starts shoveling out chicken soup for everyone. And the other party start eating it, so you know that they're eating it as well, and all of that good stuff. So, would you camp for the night with them as you're working together?
We can always put the hut up separately anyway, so we can be safe in our sleep with the hut. So yeah, we can join them. But we calm and we going, yeah, put the hut up, it's fine, we're good.
Zola, you've been very quiet. You've been watching the whole thing. What are you doing?
I guess when I've noticed that everyone is coming together and it looks like they intend to stay, I will jump down. Just roll and stand up.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
She's with us. She's with us.
We told you there was at least one other.
I'm going to wink at
Alright.
the drow.
Your drow needs better eyes.
We'll deal with this at another time. Rest. I am Robin, as he holds a hand out to Zola.
Zola.
Turns back to Tower. Looks like you have 2 red ones.
She is a different shade. Many shades of red.
Fair enough. Then they camp down for the night. He seems overly protective of the oaken bolter. And the casual observer, particularly Zola with her passive perception, would notice a particular amulet around his neck that looks like a control amulet that you would have seen from other constructs in the past. So it would seem that this guy, the Red Dragon, has the control amulet for the construct oaken bolter. The rest are a small little group. Well, we should, in full disclosure, let you know that there is another member of our party. Joined us not long ago. An elven woman. She's away from camp right now, but she'll be joining us by morning.
Young elven woman.
Yes. She's our guide. Helped us to get into the city of Omu.
Does she happen to be blonde?
Well, all the best ones are.
I'm like,
I
yeah.
was going to giggle. That is absolutely true. Diddling.
All right. She's out hunting right now, collecting food and supplies. She'll be back by morning. Don't worry.
She's a hunter?
Of sorts. More of the arcane kind of person. But she's proven her arcane capabilities pretty good at, collecting equipment for us.
I look super excited. I'm trying to hide it, and I'm just having trouble.
Tie in the matter, haven't we already established that she is working with the UNT?
You remember hearing the UNT mention that the Lich woman has held up her side of the bargain. That was the exact wording that you heard. You believe Valindra Shadowmantle is a Lich. You have very strong reasons to believe so. And then you have a fairly good and strong suspicion that she is the woman that he means is their 5th.
And we do know that her name is Valindra Shadowmantle. Is that right?
She gave her name as... Yeah, she gave her name. Valindra Shadowmantle.
Great.
So, yep.
I was just curious about your 5th and her comings and goings. How long has she been away from you?
When we bed down for the night, she tends to go out on her hunts. She's quite magically inclined, doesn't need to sleep, apparently. And so she keeps productive while the rest of us are camped out.
So, say, this morning, when you broke camp this morning, she was with you, is that right?
A little afterwards. There was after we had woken up, we began moving our camp further south into the city, and she met with us on the walk down.
Averine takes a note of this.
Okay. Averine will remember this. Top right corner. Okay. So, who's going to take the first watch?
Grigori goes to sleep right now.
So, the drow is going to take the first watch from their party. Which of your party is going to take the first watch?
I will. I'll get to know that guy. Let him know that I've been seeing him around town and he needs to work on his skills.
Carmen will put the hut up. Diddling.
She doesn't need to play the lute to summon the hut.
She doesn't need to. That's just the fun part about her. She likes to.
Then on the watch, as he climbs back up to the building, kind of sits on the corner. If you want to get to know him a little bit, he'll gladly talk to you. He's interested in you as much as you might be interested in him. Roll perception check, though, for your watch. Okay. Well, Zola, is it?
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Feline.
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 Feline. With the accent on the I.
Yes. Feline Melsek.
And you're a drow.
Yes. And you're what? Red skin, I'd think either tiefling or maybe some kind of goblin like.
No. Did I strike you as a goblin? No.
No, but
I have way more finesse.
Okay. You auntie?
Yes.
That clears something up that we were discussing earlier.
If you try to capture me, I will.
No. You've already proven your skills.
It'd be trouble for you. Just know that.
Of course. So, tell me, do you have a problem in your eye, or do you just wear the eye patch for fun?
Oh, no,
This
is magical.
Oh. Do the rest of your party have a lot of magical items?
No, actually. We've been pretty much just on the go the whole time. Do you know the whole thing about the curse and the stuff, what it's doing?
We do. Our patron, sadly, is probably dead by now. But we're hoping that once we get the items in return, either we can bring her back or someone in her household will pay us.
We have a few people like that too. But yeah, because of the amount of people that are dying around us, we've been trying to hurry up as fast as we can. So we haven't really stuck around anywhere for very long, nor to acquire things.
Well, we found a few things ourselves. We did a lot more exploring, but we wasted a bit too much time. Probably why it's probably safe bet that Sindra's dead. Well, you seem to be very adept at stealthing. Would you like to try an exercise?
Yes.
Okay. Just a simple game of hide and seek.
I love this game.
Okay. You go hide, and I'll try to find you.
Okay, but I'll be keeping an eye on the camp still.
Of course, we should both keep vigil eyes on the camp.
Okay.
She is Shargo's sister. So, as you try to hide from him, roll a stealth check. Nice. You go and hide. It takes him a little while. You watch carefully as he's looking in a few spots, but eventually with his 23, he does spot you.
When he does, I'm going to jump out at him and I'm going to cling on to him. You found me! Congratulations! Your surprise.
Now, my turn to hide. You look for me.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. He will move into the dark ruins, hide, and cast darkness. Give himself that little bit of an extra boost.
That's technically worse.
Well, it's in the dark, unless she gets close enough to tell that it's magical darkness.
I have dark vision.
You've always got light, like
that's a good point.
actual darkness in nighttime. It's actually going to be a blacker thing than the actual.
So he can try it, but I'll find that glow,
Yeah.
and then I'll just kind of like go like that through it.
So, roll your perception check. All right. The globe you see. You can tell that it's there. You then move in, feeling around, trying to find him. Eventually, his hands will pat you on the shoulder. You got close this time. Okay. So the 2 hours will go by fairly calmly. Nothing really happens. You two have a good time. And he does learn a few things about sneaky tricks from you. You are the better hider than he is. Even though he's got a +10 to stealth. You seem to be just better at it than he is. So at the end of your watch, you then pass over to someone else in your party. He trades off with the elven woman, who goes and stands at the northern side of camp. Which of your party would take this watch?
I'm gonna see if Averine's up for it.
Sure.
Cool. Night night.
Okay. So, with you, would you take your watch with or avoid the woman?
Avoid. While I'm going to be looking at one of the other spell books I got and copying it into my spell book.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's not the priority, obviously. Watch is the priority.
So roll a perception check. As she will do the same thing. Okay. After a little bit of time, a short amount of time, she will approach you, just carefully looking at the notes that you're taking. You copying down some spells?
Aye. One of the red wizards, one of the many red wizards we've defeated, left this on his person. So I am taking one of his spells and putting it into my book.
Oh, interesting. I must admit my arcane knowledge is a little bit limited. I have very few spells at my repertoire. Would there be a way I could perhaps buy that book off of you when you're finished? Or buy time with the book?
I intend to spend a lot of time with the book, and when I'm done, I will probably go back to my fellows in Candlekeep.
Ooh.
Not that I'm one for hoarding knowledge, but it's important that it's shared with everyone and not just a select few.
Fair.
What kind of read do I get from her with my 14 insight?
Fairly honest. Yeah, I mean, it seems fairly straightforward, as she was saying. Not that great of a spellcaster in terms of the amount of spells that she has available to her.
Do I see an arcane or divine focus?
You'll see an arcane focus. She keeps a wand by her side, similar to how you keep a wand. She has a spell book, but it's very thin. It's more like a portfolio than anything else. And she'll compare. She'll actually open up her spell book and show you. She doesn't have that many spells. She does have 5th level spells, but only one of them. And that's kind of the max that she's at. But she seems to be trying to make friends with you.
So I'll show her the Red Wizard book. This one was from an evoker. It's very... I'll hand it over so she can look through the pages.
Interesting. I find myself more inclined towards the enchantment magic, you know? Charms and dominations, you know, the like.
I am inclined toward the divination.
Perhaps together we could be a pretty formidable team.
Perhaps. It's almost as if I can see things before they happen.
I've always wanted to have foresight, but that's a spell I can't cast. It's too powerful for me. Well, it was a pleasure. Averine, was it?
That's right. And your name is?
My name is Elisette.
Elisette.
Yes. So, your watch goes by fairly quietly. But at the end of your watch, you notice a 5th individual, a new individual in the group. Hang on, that woman's familiar. Hey, it's Valindra Shadowmantle. Exactly as you had expected, she just walks into the party. Oh, hello.
Valindra.
Oh, you made it to Omu. Wonderful, wonderful.
That was the plan, remember? We invited you to come with us. We thought we'd find you here, and here you are.
Yeah, I got here as quick as I could. The Red Wizards were hot on my tail for a while, but I managed to get away. I can't forgive myself for the things I had to resort to in order to get away from them, but hopefully, should we do enough good together, we can wipe that slate clean.
Do I believe her?
You're asleep.
Okay, clear. Great.
So, if Averine would like to insight check it, Averine is welcome to.
Valindra was nothing but kind to me, so.
And she's a kind, nice little lich woman. It's absolutely great that you met my new friends. Aren't they so wonderful?
They are, indeed.
Yes. Useful to a fault, really. They won't stop going on about those treasures. But they'll get me into the tomb, and that's what's important, hey? We can get there together. Yeah.
We're all on the same team.
Yes, we are. All right, you pass off your watch. Who are you passing it off to?
I look to see if anyone is dreaming about waking up. I don't see anyone dreaming about waking up, so I'll just go to tower.
Yeah.
The half-dragon wakes up and pats Valindra on the shoulder. Good to have you back. Now rest, have some soup, and sleep. I guess you know these people. We can talk about that later. All right. Then he will start just walking and patrolling around. If Tower is up and watching with him, would you join him or would you act separate?
I'll join him.
So,
I'm just gonna, as I walk past Valindra, I'm just gonna give her the look of, and then I'm gonna fake casting detect magic. I'm gonna do the hand signal, but not actually cast.
Okay. Then she will instinctively respond and counterspell your detect magic. But you're not actually casting.
I'm not actually casting it.
But she'll counterspell. Okay.
Oh god.
She just stares at you as you walk off. That nice little frame of a woman shifts ever so slightly. Her eyes get darker. A shadow begins to elongate against the sparkling fire, the crackling fire. She is not happy with you. But then we can go back to what it was. The half-dragon will walk up to you if you're about to take watch. Hey, how about we go on a patrol together?
Yes, that sounds good.
All right. I have a confession to make, just FYI. Shh. I'm a little bit nearsighted, so I'm not that great. If I could get your help with this, that'd be fantastic.
It is okay. My eyes are perfect.
As he rolls a 7 on his perception check.
I'm gonna roll really badly here because I said it. Yeah, there we go.
All right. So you guys walking around the camp, keeping a decent patrol, periodically to help give extra light, because the campfire is in the middle, but there's plenty of shadows. You'll get to points where you might cast Produce Flame. He blows a little bit of fire out of his mouth just to give us a bit more like burps it out. But he makes a bit of light.
Suggestion you'll have there.
It's a benefit and a curse. Everything tastes a little bit charred, you know.
Yes, I do know. My sister is a terrible cook.
Even soup tastes burnt. It's hard to. Anyways, let's keep going. So, you big fella, you tough.
I can take a hit.
You wanna, wrestle?
What form would you take to do this?
Oh, I'd take off my armor and unarmored, just wrestle in the mud,
We can do this. I like to fit in my natural skin, though. Is that okay?
That's fine. So he pulls off his plate armor. He is a half dragon, so he's not a dragonborn. There's a slight difference. This guy is a lot more scaly, and the scales are a lot more pointy. And he actually does have dragon's horns and a very long tail. But he is well ripped, very strong. So I like to check the measure of a person with a good little grapple test, eh?
We can do this.
All right.
And I'll turn to Kaba.
Roll an insight check. Okay. His eyes light up and there's a bit of a smile across his face as you do so. And he's going to run in to grapple the bear.
Okay.
All right. So he's going to make an athletics check. You also do the same thing. See how he does.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite as good as you, I'm afraid. He tries to grapple and pull you down to the ground, but you manage to manhandle him and you gain the upper hand. The rest of the watch goes by in a similar sort of fashion with you just kind of...
I'm going to pin him down. I'm going to give him a lick.
Okay.
Just proudly walk away.
All right. So he's probably read into that lick a little too much.
You can insight check it if he likes.
I did, and I rolled a 3. So.
Okay.
All right. But your watch will go by fairly quietly. Nothing will happen during the
As
watch.
the cave bear, I've got dark vision.
Do you say that out loud? Because he says...
My perception is better.
Would you like to roll another perception check?
Yeah, I would, actually, because that last one was terrible.
23. Sight in the dark is actually very impressive. As you focus a little bit more, his nearsightedness that he mentioned was all just a ploy. This guy has blind sight and is able to grapple you completely with his eyes completely closed without looking. He seems very attentive. But he just likes to have fun. Doesn't really pay too much attention to the camp as a whole, but thankfully nothing happens during that watch.
Cool.
At the end of that third watch, who do you pass off to? Because he only has one option left.
PG.
Okay, so Piju and Shargo 2.0 go out on a watch. Would Pijo make a point to stay separate, or would he join him?
Piju's quite
friendly.
Quite friendly, yeah. So.
Well, this guy, the main, he looks at Pijo, bopping about, rolls his eyes.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm ready for anything coming up.
How about you go watch on the eastern side of the camp, and I watch on the west, hey?
Well, I can fly around everywhere. I can be with you. I can be over there. I can, you know.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds Pretty good. How about, okay, you fly all around the camp until you get tired, eh?
Are you sure? Are you sure? Because we get to know each other. I'm a really friendly guy.
I can tell. And it's okay. I don't need to, I don't need, I like you, but,
Okay, I can imagine Piju would have kind of, oh, all right, okay, and walk up with his feelings a little bit hurt because he's a sensitive snowflake.
Perception checks from Pijo and the gladiator.
Perception checks. Yeah, he's cool.
Okay. Pijo catches sight of a group of Yuan-Ti walking around the campsite, not towards it, but past it. What is Pijo going to do?
Would he be anywhere near the, because he's kind of doing his own little perimeter? Is he going to be near the barbarian at the time, or is he going to be nearby too?
So the gladiator is staying on the western side and leaving the eastern side quite open. Mm-hmm. Pijo, he goes around on the west, sees the Yuan-Ti, and then could loop back around to warn the warn domain.
He would. All right. So, where are they going? Are they kind of going?
They're going north of your current position.
Okay. Yep. Well, let's say that Piju's starting here. He spots them there. He would continue to stealthily maintain visual watch to watch them walk past. But if they make any move to head towards the thingy, he would notify them. He would also try and get the barbarian's attention silently to say, like, there's something over there, right?
Okay. And so the barbarian will come in to aid you. The camp is off to one side, but these individuals don't seem to be that fussed about the camp. Whether they have noticed it or not, they are intent on moving past. The group that you can see, is 3 abominations, 2 smaller hound-like lizard creatures, and then a single Yuan-Ti pureblood with them. So it's not that big of a group that are making their way north past your campsite.
Has the barbarian approached?
He approaches and he just... If we do not need to get into trouble, it might be better to save our energy. Let people rest.
That's what we've been doing, yeah.
Okay. You want to follow them?
No.
Okay. Then we'll just watch them as they walk past. Maybe.
I'm trying to think what PG does. In a help group, would PG go after them? He's quite curious, isn't he?
I'm trying to figure out how quickly this gladiator could figure out that Pijo likes things that are shiny. I think it would take more than just one evening together, so he won't try to bribe him into following.
Has Piju noticed anything shiny on top of the wagon?
Oh yes, there is a lot of shiny things inside the camp.
Oh, his eye will be crossed. He'll be like every so often. Then I would imagine.
Right. Valindra Shadowmantle has gone and slept next to the Oaken Bolter. Just FYI.
Okay. Oh, I don't like her.
What is wrong with her? We've only just met her a couple of days ago. She paid us very heavily to help her get out of a Red Wizard camp.
Oh, funny. She didn't pay us at all. But
you helped her out of a Red Wizard camp as well? It seems she's getting into a lot of camps.
Kind of.
Getting captured. That's
You ever heard of the Heart of Umo?
Heart of Umo. Umo. No, I don't know Umo. Is that a...
Omu. That one.
Uptow.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Uptow.
Yes.
And all
the
my
heart
confused right now.
The Heart of Uptow. Okay.
The Heart of Uptow.
Yes, all Chalton individuals know of the Heart of Uptow. Of course.
Well, she was in it.
Were you in it?
Yeah.
Because if she was in it, then you went to the
Yeah.
heart. What was in the heart?
Her.
Really?
Yeah,
So
she had like her books and her things. She wouldn't let her touch her books. I just wanted to read them, and she wouldn't even let me touch them.
So she is literally sent from God? From Uptow?
I wouldn't say that. I think she just kind of turned up there.
But
She
she
just
came
said
out of the
It was
heart of
quiet. She wanted to read and do study and stuff. I don't know. It's all that kind of wizardy stuff. You know? I don't understand it.
I never understand what the gods do. They work in very mysterious ways. But that is good. I am glad that you told me about that. I was a little bit on defense about her. She seemed a bit weird, but to hear that she is from Uptow, I trust you. So thank you very much.
She is a bit weird.
She is. But maybe that's because she's not actually from this world. I have heard of angels.
She's not an angel. But she didn't come from there. She was just in there. It was like she was squatting.
How do you know? Where is she from?
She said not from here. She's from the other. I don't know. I don't know where she's got. She said she's turned up there. There was a teleportation circle in there, and I don't know. She just turned up. She just set up camp, and she was just and it was a quiet. No one was going up there. She didn't want to be disturbed. We turned up, and then she buggered off.
So, you're telling me that she magically teleported into the heart of Uptow to then serve him and help you? That is good. That is good. Thank you. Thank you.
I have no idea. We met Uptow earlier. He spoke to us.
Okay, that seems a bit weird. You met Uptow?
Well, yeah, there's a shrine just up north that we thought on the way we thought we'd pop in.
Do you tell him all about the shrine as Peter?
Yeah, there was a bit. We had to swap bodies and we had to, jump around, and then afterwards he spoke to us.
Yeah. So this guy is a religious fanatic, but
I'm going this way.
But I think even
he chose us. He said he chose us.
Even Pedro kind of pushes his limits on that. So he will. Okay. Well, thank you. It has been a pleasure. I'm glad we got to work together. We will have such great times together from here on out.
Okay, yeah, I think so as well.
Then the night will move on. You will all gain the benefits of a full long rest. The Yuan-Ti group have moved past. Everyone wakes up, and there is Valindra, Shadowmantle. Oh, hi guys.
I immediately run to embrace her and hug her tightly and says, I was so worried. It was 2 days and there was no sign of you.
It's okay. These nice individuals helped me get out of a Red Wizard camp. It was quite fortuitous, you know.
Are you okay? Is everything okay?
Yes. I'm okay.
Do we need to go talk about anything or anything like that?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And she'll separate from the group, walking away with Zola if no one else objects. They'll kind of separate, go around the corner.
I want to follow.
Now it's going to be one of those defenses to Gregory going, do you trust that one with Zola?
Oh, I trust Zola. she'll be fine.
I think she sees liquid eyes with that one.
Oh, that doesn't mean I think Zola knows what she's getting into, but I doubt very much that Zola would be in any trouble.
No, I trust Zola's capabilities, but I worries. I do not know the other one's capabilities, and it concerns me.
Well, perhaps I can try to find out then. And I tap Tower on the shoulder, and then I go to walk and be in the conversation with Zola.
We're having a bit of girl talk, if you don't mind. Are you okay? I'm okay, but are you okay?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You asked if we needed to talk.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. We just need to exchange some information. First off, we saw your writing on the walls towards the steps. Do we need to be looking out for this Eric person? Would you like us to?
No. Eric, I found Eric last night. Oh, well, what is left of Eric, so.
Oh, no.
I know.
Well, was he doing something for you that we need to pick up? Or?
I tried to get him into the fane of the Night Serpent. It is where Razin C has his brood. I tried to get him in, but he didn't quite make it.
Oh. Was he UNT?
Eric? No.
Okay.
I tried to get him in as a slave. I pretended to be a UNT, and unfortunately, we couldn't get past the Hydra.
Oh, there's a Hydra. That's good to know. Okay. Well, we may have better chances.
You're not gonna try and sell yourself, are you?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Do they do that to purebloods? I thought that purebloods were kind of like one of them.
Razin C has changed the way the UNT behave a little bit. While the purebloods are better than most of the other UNT, certain purebloods, if they are considered dishonorable, are no better than slaves.
Oh. And dishonorable. Okay. So not aligned with them in their interests. Got it. Another thing is that we ran into Ufbert. Do you know?
Ufbert?
Ufbert. Didn't he say that he was hired by you guys? Yeah.
Oh,
chap with the big mustache.
Yes. But big mustache, right?
Big mustache.
Not down, but it went up.
It did different things depending on his mood.
Oh. Yes. Yeah. Is he okay?
We think that he got dragged off by abominations last night, or yesterday, rather. But we weren't sure if he might have been you or him in disguise. So we were thinking that it might have also just been a ploy. But you weren't Ufbert, were you?
I could be Ufbert if you want. And she changes her vision and now looks like Ufbert. Do you think I would get along better with your group if I looked like Ufbert? Or
I think
I should look better if I looked like Ufbert, you know?
I think it's too soon to try this.
Okay.
But it's a good attempt. And then also, we overheard on our way up, there was a group of the big snake ones that were hanging out right outside of Omu, and they said something about how the Lich Lady has upheld her end of the bargain. And we were thinking, well, we only know one Lich Lady, and that's you. So if you are working another angle, we would like to know so we can help you.
Roll a persuasion check. Can I trust you, Zola? Trust you with all of my secrets.
Well, I mean, you told me about what the stuff in the junk that is going on with you already, and my party members have not turned against you, so that's a thing.
That is the thing. Okay. No, Averine's not there. She can't use portent.
Ah, bummer.
Okay. All right. So there are a lot of people in this city, and I will admit my actions of late may seem a little duplicitous. During the day, I help these lot find the puzzle pieces. At night, I keep the UNT distracted hunting after you guys elsewhere.
Okay.
So that's all I'm doing. I'm helping them to find you, but I'm not really helping them to find you, you know?
Right. Otherwise, they would have found us.
Of course they will
Alrighty.
find you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're magical.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so back to Rosnasi changing the way that you want to work. You're saying that it would probably be a really bad idea if we just walked up like we were meant to be there, and I say, hi, where do we fit in? Because Ufbert said that he had been around Rosnasi and understands that he's also looking for alternative angles. And so we were thinking we could present that, us as that.
Girl to girl, Razan C is losing his grip on reality a little bit. He's becoming less of the human that he once was, more of the monstrosity that he's created himself into. And as time goes on, he loses his grip on the society that he's created. I think if you do go in like that as you had planned, while you might not 100% gain his trust or opinion, you might gain the trust of his UNT. He has many generals that aren't happy with him right now, particularly his seer, Fantaza. She's a wonderful lady. Oh, I'd love you to meet her. She's great. She's the seer of this place, but he keeps her locked up because she keeps telling him all about how Dendar the Night Serpent wouldn't do this, and he keeps saying, no, I am the representative of Dendar the Night Serpent, and it's a whole big play. So that's an angle you could go for.
But he's the one with one of the puzzle cubes, not Fawanza.
Fantaza.
Fantaza.
Yeah. Yes, he has the puzzle cube. I've seen it.
So impressing her wouldn't do much for him other than make him mad, would it? Or would it? You think it would force him into a position of accepting us? Because it sounds like this guy does whatever he wants, regardless.
Oh, 100% chaotic. Absolutely. No law to this fellow. Whether you're good or bad, there should be some sort of order or structure. But no, he's completely chaotic.
Okay, so we don't have any good ideas, it sounds like.
I think your ideas are really good. They're better than going in trying to shoot the place up. There's far too many UNT for you to be able to do that.
Okay. So, but if we do talk to him, keep his people around him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea. Okay, all right.
How about I lend you a little bit of a tidbit, right? There is a main door. You don't want to go through the main door unless you want to go straight towards Fantaza. Fantaza's room is right next to the main door. You could deal with her. That's possible, but you'll probably have to deal with opposition. Or you could sneak around, get past the Hydra, and go to Razan C's personal quarters.
Have you ever snuck past a Hydra before? Do you know how difficult that could be?
Well, Eric's dead, so no.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bit more difficult than normal.
Well, soon that's going to be the thing that we're doing, like all of us together. So, if this is the best plan we got, maybe we should share it.
Well, keep an eye on this crew. They're good, but they're a little opportunistic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I happen to know that each and every one of my team is standing by ready to blow their butts sky high at one single wrong move.
Do you have a, are you actually targeting the behinds, or is it just a figure of speech?
We'll see what happens when we get there and how we're feeling.
Okay. All right. Well, if I feel the need is necessary, I'll help you blow their butts off.
Yay! It's so nice to have you back.
Okay. Well, with that, what's everyone else doing? Grigori, she wouldn't have forced you not to be around. You could have been around.
No, that seemed
she
they
wanted
wanted to talk separately, so
yeah.
Grigori stepped away.
Fair enough.
Tower would have meditated this morning to change his spells.
Okay.
I haven't decided what I'm going to have yet.
So, the other party start packing up all their belongings. You see them pack up everything from the camp onto the construct. There's a lot. It's weighing down the construct quite a bit.
Grigori will have just observed all that to see if he could recognize what they have on them, just to see if they have anything worthwhile.
Roll a perception check.
It's like Roll20 knows that I'm rolling perception, so she give me a 1, 2, or 3 on the roll.
It's really
Maybe
quite
a 5.
remarkable. It's
Indeed,
every time
it's,
you do a
but it's
perception check.
particularly for perception. That's the amazing part.
Can Piju check, because he hasn't been keeping it. He's been keeping an eye on the shinies.
You know what? He was looking at the map. Grigori's studying the map. He was out the corner of his eye, thought about looking for stuff, but he decided not to. That's why it's a 6.
Okay. Well, Pijo, roll a perception check then. What's the result? I'm not quite looking at the screen.
20.
So, Pijo, there is one thing that stands out amongst all the rest, a particularly shiny-looking staff. The staff looks like it is a totem pole of sorts, with lots of different faces on it, piled one above the other. It's just in the bag, as it is.
Does it remind him of those goblins?
Yeah, it looks a little bit like them. You don't quite know. I'll change the room a bit. What this is, but you definitely see a particularly nice looking magical staff. Carl knows what that is.
He's gonna nudge Avery and go, "Oh, look at that! That's pretty, isn't it?"
Aye, the woodwork looks very well crafted and carved.
Averine, you're welcome to make an Arcana check to see if you know what that is.
Maybe they're as a mutual thing. They might consider lending us some of this extra equipment. They seem to have not had a useful, because the more powerful we are, the more useful we are together.
As you're contemplating this, for one thing, that piece of wood right there is probably really valuable. You probably got a couple hundred, maybe 1,000. I'm thinking, quite a lot of value in this particular item, but nothing compared to the fact that it is a staff of healing. As you know, what staffs of healing do. That's what's poking out of the bag right now. And as you guys decide what to do about this, we're going to end the session there. Our heroes have joined another group of adventurers. That's a lot of people to deal with, so there is going to be a bit of a change.
You thought
So-
running 2 NPCs was going to be rough. We just hired a whole new crew.
In 2 weeks' time, when we jump back in, we've got 6 players plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NPCs.
You're going to be 2 players down.
6, and we're going to be 2 players down. So I'll be running 8 characters in 2 weeks. Join us for that fun adventure. At that point, I need to make a couple maps a little bit bigger. We'll see you back then. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for following us on this particular journey as we continue to explore the city of Omu. Don't forget to check out our Half-Rate Heroes adventure tomorrow. It is a homebrew adventure. We're in a Shadowfell citadel, or at least headed to it. We'll see how that works out for them. And then rejoin us for the rebroadcasts on Monday and Tuesday. And then we'll see you all in 2 weeks' time. Bye.